Good evening, everybody. Welcome to SHN Sports presentation of Georgetown Eagle Playoff Baseball live from Northeast Stadium here in San Antonio, Texas, for the regional semifinal round between your Georgetown Eagles and the Corpus Christi Ray Texans. I'm Wally Harmon alongside Kelly Duvall, running the show and behind the scenes, my wife, Jerry Ann Harmon, and we bring you this playoff series here, a best-of-3 series to go to the regional finals. And, Kelly, a matchup between two great 5A programs.
Wally, I'm excited about this game. Max Preps has Corpus Christi Ray ranked number 1 in 5A. They have us ranked number 2. This may be the top series in the state this week, and I'm excited to be here. Beautiful facility, beautiful night for baseball. The wind is laid down. The field is turf. Beautiful, beautiful ballpark, and I'm excited to get this game going.
Northeast Stadium welcomes these two teams in tonight here in Game 1 of the series at 7 p.m. first pitch. The Corpus Christi Ray Texans will be the home team in their white uniforms. Your Georgetown Eagles will be the visitors. Tomorrow night, Friday night, 7 p.m. first pitch, we will have Game 2 of this series. Same location here at Northeast Stadium. And if necessary, Game 3 on Saturday, a noon first pitch. We'll be here at 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock first pitch tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. pregame, 12 o'clock first pitch if necessary on Saturday. Corpus Christi Ray comes in 34-4 on the year. They were 16-0 in District 29 on the year. And things that you look at as you try to figure out these districts, looking at videos and standings. If you look at the district in which they were in, 5 of the teams were under 500 in the district play. The Texans kind of ran through it. Not a lot of tough competition outside of that district and what they battled on a regular district basis pregame wise. You didn't see it. They played a lot of teams from the Valley, and so not much known about this Corpus Christi Ray Texan team, but they come in at 34-4, so they're still a good ball team. Their number 2 batter, the shortstop Jack Bell, a University of Arizona commit, a great shortstop, classified as one of the top shortstops in the year, in the area and the state in his class, and so it'll be fun to watch him as you watch these two defenses go at it. They've been likened to another Georgetown like Canyon Cougars last week, a scrappy team that will put the ball in play. Coach said their pitching staff, a couple of good arms that will throw it to the strike zone, and that you've got to hit the ball. And so the Eagles have just got to do what they do best, take care of the next 200 feet, and kill that Buffalo one bite at a time.
And Coach is exactly right. It doesn't really matter what district you're coming out of. When you win 30 games or more on the season, you're going to be a quality team. And these guys have won over 30 games on the season. They've lost, I think, 3 or 4 games on the season, 4 games on the season. So the Texans are probably going to be one of the top, if not the top team that the Eagles have seen this year. I think this is going to be a really phenomenal series. I'll be stunned if it doesn't go 3 games.
In the playoffs, the Ray Texans have beat Laredo Martin 2 games out of 3, 6-0 and 2-0. Then they beat San Antonio McCollum 11-0 and 9-2. And then in their quarterfinal match of the regional quarterfinal series, they lost game 1 to McAllen Rowe 3-4, and then came back and won 8-0 and 9-6. Something that we've seen a pattern of for the Ray Texans. They don't throw their ace in game 1. They save him for game 2. The good thing for the Eagles is the Eagles' ace goes in game 1, and their ace goes in game 2. Between 1A and 1B, Nick Silva will start here on the mound tonight. And you save a Jacob Haddon, who is having a phenomenal year for game number 2. And so it doesn't matter where the Ray Texans want to throw their ace. They're going to taste an ace from this Georgetown staff. This last series against Canyon, Nolan Jondal came in and was the 3rd game starter and did a great job. I talked to him last night at the coach's show, and he came in and threw 4 great innings of baseball, scattered a hit, only 1 run. It was earned, but then the Eagles came from behind to win that one. And what a game that was. Game 3 on Saturday at Westlake High School. Reese Bell had the first RBI of the game in the first inning on a sac fly, and then ended it on a walk-off single to left field to score Zach Zavala from third base in the bottom of the 7th for the 3-2 win. At home plate, Coach Orlando Ruiz waits to meet the 4 umpire crew. Interesting note, this 4 umpire crew is out of Bryan College Station. Not an umpire crew that we have seen at this point in the year, and not an umpire crew that Corpus Christi Ray has seen at this part of the year. So not an umpire crew out of San Antonio or Austin, where any of these teams would have been familiar to these umpires. So hopefully maybe a little bit more balanced officiated series, as some calls didn't go the way of Georgetown. Some questionable calls back and forth, and some heated moments in that series against the Canyon Cougars.
Yeah, Coach Vieira was not happy with some of the calls that occurred, but you got to shake those off. And you can't let the umpires affect you. You have to stay mentally in the game. You can't let some adversity affect you. And we've talked about it all year, Wally. It's a gritty Georgetown team. This is going to be a gritty Corpus Christi Ray team. And both these teams are going to come in ready to battle. From here out in the playoffs, there's not going to be any easy teams. There's not going to be any easy outs. So it's going to be the team that stays focused, commits the fewest errors, puts the ball in play, and has the strongest pitching. And this series is really going to test both pitching staffs. The
Georgetown Eagles, in their playoff run to this point, they beat Alamo Heights in a 2-game sweep in the by-district round, 3-0, and then 11-1 in a run rule at home on Game 2. And in the area round, they took on the Floresville Tigers and beat them 9-4 in 9 innings at Floresville on a Thursday night ball game, and then turned around on a Friday night and won 5-0 to advance. In the regional semifinals, regional quarterfinals, that was the battle for this Georgetown Eagle team as they took on the Canyon Cougars. And it was a 6-4 win on Thursday, a 4-3 tough loss on Friday night, but then a beautiful 3-2 come-from-behind win and walk-off fashion on Saturday to advance. Well, let's go to the official Doppler Dave England game time forecast, only heard here on SHN. From the official Doppler Dave desk, good evening, Eagle fans. As we watch the Eagles fight for a fourth-round playoff victory, we have beautiful clear skies, south wind at 5 miles per hour, first pitch temperature 96 degrees, 25% humidity. There is no chance of rain on the picture-perfect evening. Go Eagles and EFND. Doppler Dave back at the station at Sam Bass.
Big Dave.
Give a shout-out to our boy Doppler Dave England. Thanks for bringing us the official Doppler Dave England game time forecast live here on SHN Sports. Hoping to see Doppler Dave in the next couple of days after he gets off work tomorrow. And so we will be here live at Northeast Stadium. The Georgetown Eagles and the visitors here in game number 1. They'll wear the white pants with the eagle blue and black piping on the sides, knee-high with the black eagle blue and white stirrups, black jerseys with eagle blue G logo on the front, the eagle blue numbers on the back outlined in white, and the black caps with the eagle blue talon outlined in white on the front. The Texans out of Corpus Christi Ray High School, the home white uniforms with the red pinstripes, red numerals, and red Texans in capital block print lettering across the front. The white caps with, it looks like a T across the front of the hat for the Texans. They are out of the third base dugout tonight. The all-turf field here at Northeast Stadium, 320 down the lines, 350 to the power alleys, and 380 to dead straightaway center field. And Kelly, you're not lying. No wind here. It is a dead night wind-wise. The flags laying right beside the poles without any movement at all here in the last few minutes. Some fans brought out here in the crowd by these Eagle fans trying to keep cool. And what a night for high school baseball. The Corpus Christi Ray Texans coming to the ballgame 34-4 overall, 16-0 in their own district. Head coach Orlando Reeves, assistant coach Roy Furden. They represent 5A Region 4 District number 29. They will go this way for their starting lineup here in game number 1. Leading off and playing center field, number 4, Evan Rodriguez. Batting second and playing shortstop, number 1, Jack Bell. Batting third and playing second base, number 3, Lucas Tinajero. Batting fourth and catching, number 16, Mikey Everett. Batting fifth and pitching, number 14, Kevin Goss. Batting sixth and playing left field, number 9, Nick Talavera. Batting seventh and playing third base, number 19, Darian Montoya. Batting eighth, the designated hitter, number 11, Frankie Alderetti. And batting ninth and playing right field, number 6, Luis Morales. So Rodriguez, Bell, Tinajero in the top third. Everett, Goss, and Talavera in the middle third. Montoya, Alderetti, and Morales, the bottom third for the Texans of Corpus Christi Ray. Now to Kelly for the starting lineup for your Georgetown Eagles.
The head coach for your Georgetown Eagles in his third year at the helm, head coach Jordan Vieira. And Coach Vieira has done a tremendous job this year. Stat girls are going to be Grace King, Carter Campbell, Dylan Jones, and the athletic trainers are Macy Denson and Alyssa Stock. Assistant coaches are Chad Payne, David Durrell, Robert Halm, and Barry Johnson. And, of course, our head coach, all-around coach, great guy, Jared Frimmel. The batting order tonight for your Eagles. Batting first, number 19, the senior catcher, Zach Mazak. Batting seconds, number 2, E.J. Davis, also senior utility infielder. Number 6, Landon Heil is third in the order tonight, and he is playing right field. Batting fourth, Reese Bell, the senior first baseman. Batting sixth, number 20, Riley Leininger, the super sophomore. Batting seventh, number 21, Eli Hellman, junior utility infielder. Number 3, Ty Klaus Keismore is batting eighth and playing left field. And batting ninth and playing center field is number 16, Andon Petty. Starting pitcher tonight is senior Nick Silva. He comes into tonight really throwing well, and we're excited to watch Nick throw tonight. So Mazak, Davis, and Heil are 1, 2, 3. Bell, Smith, and Leininger, the middle of the order, and the bottom of the order, Hellman, Klaus Keismore, and Petty. And that's your starting lineup for your Georgetown Eagles.
Superintendent of Georgetown High School, Dr. Fred Brent. High school principal, the one and only Mr. Brian Johnson. Athletic director for Georgetown ISD, Coach Jason Dean. Head coach, Jordan Vieira. As athletic coordinator at Georgetown High School is Coach Chuck Griffin. It was great to visit with Coach Griffin Friday night after the game, or Thursday night after the game, after the blue-white scrimmage, after the baseball game, up in the booth. He's excited as the football team gets ready for a new year. A lot of coaching changes made, and so this team ready to go. So it's good to talk to the athletic coordinator and head football coach, Chuck Griffin. Thanks for joining us now. We'll go to the national anthem. We'll be back soon with tonight's ball game. You're listening to Eagle Baseball on SHN.
Our veterans and our first responders with the playing of our national anthem.
Back here live at Northeast Stadium, the Georgetown Eagles getting ready for the top of the first inning. Mazik, Davis, and Heil will lead things off. Now it makes me think they are starting their big lefty here tonight as number 14. Kevin Goss, the starting pitcher, the lefty. And so we'll see how things go if that is their ace. I'm not sure what to expect out of this Corpus Christi Ray team.
And that's one of the disadvantages for us in a broadcast is there aren't a lot of places to gather a lot of stats. Sometimes they're on, sometimes they're not. So we just go with what we got.
As they finish the warm-ups here in the top of the first inning, the sun setting to our left will be in the faces of the right side of the infield and right side of the outfield. Kelly, you got the defensive lineup for the Texans?
I do.
We'll get ready for that. Set their defensive lineup here as we get ready for the top of the first.
Defensively for the Texans tonight, in the outfield, left to right, Talavera, Rodriguez, and Morales. In the infield, third base, Montoya, Bell at shortstop, Tenejero at second, Rodriguez at first. Behind the plate is Everett, and on the mound, Goss.
Don't miss the UIL Baseball State Championship starting Wednesday, June 8th at UFCU Disch-Falk Field in Austin, Texas, and the Dell Diamond in Round Rock, Texas. Ticket information and more can be found at uiltexas.org. Kevin Goss, the starting pitcher. Zachary Mazik will lead it off for your Eagles. He'll step in from the left side to lead things off here for the Eagles. Mazik had a great series, and one thing we get taken, for granted is the fact that Mazik is such a great defensive catcher, all the plays he makes. First pitch is high for a ball, leading things off for Zachary Mazik. 1-0 the count.
Wally, these first few batters going to have a difficult time because the ball is leaving from the sun and then coming into the shadows.
Second pitch up the middle, ball hit by Mazik, fielded by the second baseman. He'll backhand it, make the throw to first in time. 4-3 on the putout for out number one.
when the ball is coming from a lighted area to a shaded area like that, even for a split second, it reduces a little bit the amount of time. So it's going to be interesting to see if it affects the hitters to start off. Shouldn't last too long, but right now the pitcher's standing in the sun, and when that ball leaves his hand, it's in the sun.
Zachary Mazik records the first out. Now E.J. Davis, the second baseman, steps in from the right side. The lefty gots from the windup. The first pitch is high for a ball, 1-0 the count.
Like to see these Georgetown hitters being patient to start this game off, maybe build that pitch count a little bit.
Talked to E.J. last night. He batted .500 in the series against Canyon. Second pitch is low in the turf for ball 2, 2-0 the count. To E.J. Davis. Goss from the windup, the 2-0 pitch. And E.J. makes contact up the middle. The shortstop on the run makes the play in time to record the second out. 6-3 on the putout.
You see from the first two batters that they're capable of shutting down the middle of the field, so those balls are going to have to be hard hit to get out of the infield right up the middle.
Landon Heil steps in. 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. The right-handed right fielder steps in. First pitch from Goss is in there for a called strike. He goes to the off-speed for the first pitch there against Heil. Something different you've seen against Davis and Mazik, and gets it in there for strike one. Back from the windup, the 0-1 pitch, and Heil fouls it off back to the screen for strike two. 0-2 the count.
Little change in the motion on that breaking pitch, so maybe the Eagle hitters can pick that up early before it becomes a big factor. But that was a nasty breaking pitch.
Now a time, bat left out. It's important all the way down the third base line. Get it out of place so the ball doesn't hit it in a live situation. Now back to action. Heil in the box. The 0-2 pitch. Called strike three, and Heil down on strikes for out number 3. The Eagles go in order here in the top of the first. After a half an inning, Georgetown 0, and the Texans coming up to bat. More Eagle baseball in just a moment on SHN.
It's just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Texas. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Welcome back to Eagle Playoff Baseball. Setting up the defense for your Eagles tonight in the outfield from left to right. Klaus Keismore, Petty, and Heil. On the infield from left to right, Smith, Hellman, Davis, and Bell. Behind the plate, Mazik, and pitching tonight, Silva.
Nick Silva will start it out. Nick Silva had family fly in. I got to meet his grandfather and his brother in from California. I know Reese Bell has some family in from California, so awesome to see some of these families flying in. Here's we're in a big fourth-round series for this Eagle baseball team, and graduation tomorrow or Saturday for these Eagle baseball players. Silva will go from the stretch. Ryan Rodriguez starts it off. First pitch outside for ball one.
Quick inning, so these Eagles are going to want to answer the same way and try to go 3 up, 3 down.
Rodriguez, Bell, Tina Harrell. Second pitch outside for ball 2. 2-0 the count to Ryan Rodriguez, the center fielder for the Texans. He'll bat from the left side. Silva back ready. The 2-0 pitch. Not going to get the corner. That's 3 pitches on the outside corner, and all 3 called a ball. So now Rodriguez way ahead in the count, 3-0. Silva, the 3-0 pitch. Right down the middle for a called strike. 3-1 the count now.
We've seen Nick, don't really call it struggle, but not really be locked in that first inning, so let the defense work behind you.
The 3-1 pitch is high for ball 4, and a leadoff walk for Rodriguez. First walk of the night. And that'll bring up the shortstop, Jack Bell.
Shortstop number 1, Jack Bell.
Bell steps in from the left side. The runner on first, no outs.
With this Texans lineup, Nick's just going to have to attack the strike zone and let his defense work.
Hellman shaded over towards second base. First pitch to Bell is in there for a called strike. 0-1 the count. Rodriguez leads off first. Reese Bell holds him on. The 0-1 pitch misses low for ball 1. 1-1 to count. Silva set. The 1-1 pitch. And Bell pops it up on the left side of the infield. Looks like it's going to curl out of play, and it does. 4 strike 2. 1-2 the count now. To Jack Bell, the shortstop for the Texans. Beautiful night for baseball. Clear skies. A lot of shade here. Beautiful Northeast Stadium. Silva comes set. He'll throw over carefully over to first base as Rodriguez dives back in there safely. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jack Bell, the shortstop.
You can count on both these teams being really aggressive on the base paths.
The 1-2 pitch. Skips in there. Mazick, great job at keeping it in front of him. Rodriguez cannot advance. The count now 2-2 to Bell.
See that Stonewall Mazick behind the plate. Getting an early nick and ding here and there.
Fouled off, and so Rodriguez, who had taken off, has to come back. The count still 2-2 to Bell. So a lot of pitches being thrown here by Nick Silva through the first 2 batters. Bell back in there. Rodriguez leads off. The 2-2 pitch. The ball slapped down the third base line, but it'll curl out of play. So Jack Bell stays alive in the at-bat. Signs being given by the coach, Ruiz, down the third base line. Bell back in there. Silva comes set. Rodriguez leaning towards second base. Silva threw over. Rodriguez had to get back quickly, and does in time. 2-2 count to the number 2 hitter in the lineup. Runner at first was walked. Another throw over. Rodriguez dives back in safely. Hellman shading towards second base with the lefty. Bell up to bat. Ty Klaus Keismore staying true in left field. The 2-2 pitch misses in there low for ball 3.
See a lot of patience from these Texans hitters so far in these first 2 at-bats, first 2 batters. And that pitch count's starting to climb a little bit.
The payoff pitch, the runner's off on the pitch. A ground ball down the first baseline, and it's going to be fair down the right field line all the way to the corner, and that's going to score Rodriguez all the way from first. Heil just now picks it up, and Bell heads for third. It's going to be a triple, an RBI triple by Jack Bell. And the Texans start out the scoring 1-0 here in the bottom of the first.
Bell delivers a chopper down the right field line for a triple. That drives in Rodriguez from first.
You see some disciplined hitting in the first 2 batters, waiting for pitches they can do something with, taking pitches, drawing the walk.
Lucas Tinajero.
Nick's going to have to attack the strike zone. First pitch by Tinajero is fouled off down the right field line, out of play for strike 1. Gonna have to go to work early and then make him chase something when you get ahead of him. So Nick Silva gets ahead of Tinajero, the second baseman. The runner down at third, no outs. The 0-1 pitch in there for a called strike 2. 0-2 the count now.
Now you've got a little bit of advantage. Maybe can keep this hitter off balance a little bit, getting out front quick.
0-2 pitch, up and in for ball 1.
See, now we see that sun's gone off the pitcher.
Silva comes set. The 1-2 pitch. It skips in there. Good block by Mazick. 2-2 now the count. Silva comes set, the 2-2 pitch. And a ball fouled off back to the screen. Tina Harrow stays alive in the at-bat. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jack Bell, the RBI triple, stands down at third base. Silva comes set. The 2-2 pitch. Ground ball out towards short. That's going to get the run home. Hellman across the diamond in time for out number 1. 6-3 on the putout. And the Eagles quickly behind 2-0 here in the bottom of the first.
It's kind of surprised he didn't. The Bell, the runner at third, put his head down and was headed for home. I think he had a shot maybe at getting him at the plate, but went with the sure out.
And now in steps the catcher, Mikey Everett. He'll swing at the first pitch, a grounder out towards second. Davis will field it on a short hop, throw to Bell in time at first base. 4-3 on the putout.
That took a weird bounce, like there's a big seam right there at the green turf versus the dirt-looking turf at the infield. Kind of took a strange hop.
That's a ground out to second base.
And now here's the pitcher, Kevin Goss.
Now batting with 2 outs is the pitcher, number 14, Kevin Goss.
First pitch is low. Kevin Goss steps in. And he'll swing at this one. It's a base hit. Into center, left center field. Petty over to field it. Goss with the 2-out single. Third hit of the ball game. Second hit of the ball game. And here comes the courtesy runner, Jack Spence.
Goss delivers a base hit to left center.
Spence will courtesy run for the pitcher, Goss.
Number 7, Jack Spence. Again,
Now,
runner on first, number 7.
now in steps Nick Talavera, the left fielder.
Texans with 1 on and 2 outs is left fielder number 9, Nick Talavera.
Talavera bats from the right side. The second out of 6 batters to hit from the right side for the Texans. He'll see the first pitch, and it's in there for a called strike. 0-1 to count. Runner at first with 2 outs, 2 runs across with 2 base hits here in the bottom of the first for the Texans. Corpus Christi Ray leads it 2-0. Silva comes set. Spence takes off on the pitch. The throwdown by Mazick in time. Oh my goodness. Not in time. Called safe at second base.
Looked in time.
So a stolen base for the courtesy runner, Spence.
With a stolen base.
So now a runner at second with 2 outs. A pitch missed for ball 1. 1-1 to count to Talavera. Silva comes set. A look back at second. The 1-1 pitch. Low. 4-2. 2-1 to count. The 1-1 pitch. Ground ball towards short. Hellman fields it. He'll set his feet, make the throw in time. And the Texans are down here in the bottom of the first, but not before they get 2 runs on 2 hits. No errors and a runner left on base. After 1 complete, Ray, the Corpus Christi Ray, leads your Georgetown Eagles 2-0. More Eagle baseball in a moment.
I'll never forget the day I decided to go out for the football team. Mr. Banks, the JV football coach and my history teacher, asked me to stay after class. I thought I was in trouble. He said, "Hey, Darius, have you thought about going out for football? I think you'd be great." Fact is, I never played football. Fact is, I never had anyone tell me I'd be great at something. So, with no experience at all, I signed up. And a week later, I padded up and was running drills on the field. I never was great, but playing high school sports was one of the greatest experiences of my life. I was accepted by my teammates, and I learned that when someone believes in you, you can believe in yourself.
Encourage a student you know to take part in a high school sport. This message presents UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Go to the top of the second. The Eagles trail it by 2. Bell, Smith, and Leininger due up here in the top of the second inning for the Eagles. Reese Bell. He'll step in here against the pitcher, Goss. Goss threw 8 pitches in the first inning. First pitch to Bell. This is low for a ball. Want to know the count to Reese Bell, the senior first baseman. Reese steps back in. Goss ready to go from the windup. This one skips in as well. 4-2, 2-0 the count.
Their game plan right now. They're down 2 runs, but they got to shake that first inning off, play their game.
The 2-0 pitch misses off the outside corner for ball 3. 3-0 the count now to Reese Bell. Goss from the windup. The 3-0 pitch. It's in there for a called strike. Bell taken all the way. 3-1 the count now. The 3-1 pitch. Bell takes it low and inside. Ball 4. And a leadoff walk for the big first baseman, Reese Wills Bell. First walk issued by Goss. That'll bring up the third baseman, number 5, Logan Smith.
Playoffs, Logan's had some timely hits. Reese not really a big threat to steal, so moving him over with a well-placed ball would be fantastic.
The third baseman plays up on the grass about 3 steps, expecting a bunt here from Logan now. He'll back up towards the dirt. Pickoff move. Bell lays back down. Safe at first base.
Did they scout?
I tell you what, they've tried to pick off all of our runners. It doesn't matter who it has been all playoffs. And the lefty Goss, got to be mindful of that move from the lefty. The first pitch to Smith. He squares the bunt and gets it down the first base line. He's going to motor down. It says just foul.
Oh,
wow.
That was smart of the catcher to let that ball roll instead of trying to pick it up and make a play at first, because there's no way they were going to get him at first. That was a very heads-up play by the catcher.
Would have been nice if it stayed fair, but it drifts just foul. Everett did a great job there. Now Logan Smith set himself back at home plate. No balls and 1 strike. Reese Bell, the leadoff walk, down at first base. Goss comes set in the stretch. The 0-1 pitch. Smith fouls it off, back out of play for strike 2. Behind in the count now, no balls, 2 strikes.
Nice thing about the setup here in the parking lot is somebody's going to absolutely have to rocket a terrible foul ball way left field to hit anything. So no cars should be harmed in the making of this game.
The 0-2 pitch, way up and away for ball 1. Logan Smith, 1-2 the countdown. Goss comes set. Bell leads off first. The 1-2 pitch to Logan Smith. And Logan hits it out towards third. Up with it. Throws to second in time. On to first. For the 5-4-3 double play. Thought Rodriguez may have pulled his foot. The umpire hesitated there at first base, but calls Smith out. So a 5-4-3 double play records the first 2 outs. Erases the base runner for the Eagles. And that'll bring up Riley Leininger. No one on base, 2 outs. For Leininger, the designated hitter. Goss from the windup. The first pitch, Leininger hits it right back up the middle, and this one's going to get through into center field for a 2-out single. Riley Leininger, the first hit of the ball game for the Eagles.
Super sophomore doing what he does and putting the ball in play, and good things happen.
That'll bring up the shortstop, Eli Hellman, for his first appearance in the ball game. Hellman steps in with 2 outs. Runner at first base. From the right side, the first pitch. Hellman takes it, and it's in there for a called strike. 0-1 to count. to Eli Hellman.
Goss has done a good job of getting that first strike in there, getting ahead of the hitters quickly.
Pickoff attempt over at first base. Hopefully Reese Bell's paying attention to that. Rodriguez puts a hard slap tag on the base runners over at first. Expect Reese Bell to turn that in kind to the base runners for the Texans as Riley Leininger looked quickly up at Rodriguez like, I was on the base well before you caught that ball. Another pickoff, and Leininger's safe back in there. Big lead. The 0-1 pitch, and Hellman fouls it down the third baseline. 0-2 now the count to Eli Hellman.
You saw it right there. There's a little bit of spin on the ball, but that ball hit right near that seam. And from this vantage point, you can see where that brown turf is slightly lower, so there's a big seam in there.
Leininger leads off first, held on by Rodriguez. No balls and 2 strikes to Eli Hellman. Goss will take a timeout, step off the rubber. Now back up on the mound. The 0-2 pitch to Hellman, and Hellman fouls it off back to the screen, stays alive in the at-bat. Eli Hellman stays alive. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the second. 2-0. Corpus Christi Ray put 2 up in the bottom of the first. Leininger leads off the 0-2 pitch. And this one gets away from the catcher. Leininger will get up to second base on the wild pitch.
The backstop behind the catcher is brick, and that ball came right back to the catcher pretty quick. That could be a factor.
Hopefully people were watching that because Leininger got a good jump on it, which was a good thing because the catcher, Everett, came up looking like, hey, I'm going to throw down.
He tried to barehand it and make a throw.
Leininger at second. He'll lead off there with 2 outs. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count to Eli Hellman. 2 outs here in the top of the second. The 1-2 pitch. Up and away for ball 2. 2-2 now, the count.
There was that arm angle change on that breaking pitch when he really tries to throw that big bender and get it come from our viewpoint right to left across the plate.
The 2-2 pitch. And up and away again. He went back to that same pitch, and it's not coming anywhere near the plate. So now the count full. Eli Hellman's done a good job here. Down 0-2 in the count, fouled one off, and now has drawn a 3-2 count from the pitcher Goss with 2 outs and a runner at second. Goss comes set from the stretch. The payoff pitch. It's high, ball 4. A 2-out single by Leininger, and now a 2-out walk by Eli Hellman. Second walk issued by Goss, and that'll bring up Ty Klaus Keismore.
Ty's done a really good job all season when they've got runners in scoring position to put the ball in play, and some good things have happened. He's driven in some pretty good runs, especially in the playoff push.
Ty steps in here with runners on first and second and 2 outs here in the top of the second. Eagles trying to cut into this early 2-0 deficit. The first pitch outside for a ball.
That breaking pitch is just not working right now. And if he can't get that pitch in there second time through the order, the Eagles may have a little more success. And that Buffalo that Coach talks about has entered the ballpark, so it's time to take those bite at a time, a shot at a time.
And you got to think that Coach Payne's recognizing that, Coach Vieira recognizing that, hey, sit on a fastball now. Mm-hmm. If that breaking pitch is going to be up and away, if he gets it occasionally, sit on that fastball. You get a 1-0 count, a 2-0 count. Be ready to drive a pitch. And this Eagle team's been good at doing that all year long. Now Ty gets back in the box after the visit from Everett to the mound. 1-0 the count to Ty Klaus Keismore, the 1-0 pitch. And it's in there for a called strike. 1-1 now the count to Ty, the left fielder for your Eagles. The number 8 hitter in the Eagle lineup. Hellman leads off first, Leininger off second. The 1-1 pitch. It's up and away, ball 2.
Yeah, you definitely sit on that fastball.
2-1 now the count to Ty.
or he may hang one of those breaking pitches up over the plate, give you something to drive.
Goss comes set, the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
He was sitting on the fastball. He just missed it.
Klaus Geismore. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the second. 2 runners on. 2-0 lead, lots of 2s on the board. The Eagles want to cut into that 2-0 deficit. The 2-2 pitch. Geismore fouls it off. Stays alive in the at-bat. 2 balls and 2 strikes. A lot more pitches being thrown here in inning number 2 by Goss. So something good for the Eagles to see. A lot of more pitches for this the offense to start seeing and getting accustomed to as we get ready to go to the 9th hitter in the lineup at Andon Petty. Should we get to him here? The 2-2 pitch stays off the outside corner. 4-3. Threw a different arm angle, a different look for that breaking pitch, and still not coming back in. And now a full count to tie Klaus Geismore. The runners will be off on the pitch, Kelly, as we have a 3-2 count with 2 outs. Hellman and Leininger both running. A base hit here could score a couple. The payoff pitch. Klaus Geismore fouls it off back to the screen. Stays alive.
And to the field, Mike.
Next pitch will be the 25th pitch of the inning for Goss. Three and 2 the count, 2 outs. The payoff pitch. Klaus Geismore fouls it off down the first baseline.
Wally, you know, if he keeps struggling with that breaking pitch, he's going to try harder and harder to throw it, which will start to wear that arm out a little bit more, so that pitch count really becomes important, not only for fatigue potentially, but for the UIL rules in pitch count.
Goss comes set. The payoff pitch. And it's ball 4. Bases loaded for Andon Petty. The 3rd walk of the inning for Goss. Oh, no, it's not a walk. They called it a hit by pitch. It's the dead ball. So the first batter hit by a pitch, and now a visit from the coaching staff for the Texans. Quick timeout. Back with more Eagle baseball in a moment. Andon Petty comes up to bat here with the bases loaded and 2 outs. The Eagles like to do work with 2 outs on the season. Great opportunity here for the number 9 hitter, Andon Petty. He steps in. Klaus Geismore at first, Hellman at second, Leininger at third. The first pitch from Goss. It's down at low for a ball.
Somebody's going to get a big momentum boost from this at-bat, because if Georgetown can put some runs on the board, that shifts the momentum monster to this dugout. If they get out of this inning with the bases loaded, that momentum stays over there in the home side.
The 1-0 pitch catches the outside corner for a called strike. 1-1 the count now. Andon Petty, the senior center fielder, steps back in the box. 1 ball and 1 strike, 2 outs here in the top of the second. Bases loaded, full of Eagles. The 1-1 pitch from Goss. Low, about 4 feet short. Nice play by Everett to keep it in front of him. 2-1 now the count. To Andon Petty.
Not supposed to be this nervous this early in the game.
I tell you what a ball game.
Yeah.
Zachary Mazik on deck for the Eagles. Goss comes set. 2-1 pitch, misses low, ball 3. Nowhere to put him. You got to go after him. So Andon Petty going to sit on a beautiful 3-1 pitch. You see Coach Vieira kind of give the box. Hey, that pitch has to be in that one spot and drive it. 3-1 to count. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Here at the top of the second, the 3-1 pitch.
There you
Ball
go.
4. The bases loaded walk. Scores Riley Leiniger. An RBI for Andon Petty. The third walk of the inning for Goss. Now, that'll bring up Zachary Mazik with 2 outs and the bases still loaded. Hellman to third. We go to the bottom of the second. The 7, 8, 9 hitters due up for the Texans. First pitch outside for a ball. Silva back to the windup now. Here in the bottom of the second inning. The 1-0 pitch. Ball hit into right field. Landon Heil has a read on it. 2 steps to his right. He makes the catch for out number 1. L9 in the book. And that'll bring up Frankie Alderetti, the designated hitter.
Now batting with nobody on and 1 out is designated hitter number 11, Frankie Alderete.
Alderetti, the lefty, or the right-handed hitter. Designated hitter, hits for the first baseman, Rodriguez. Steps in here with 1 out in the bottom of the second. The first pitch to him. Fouled it off back to the screen for strike 1. 26 pitches thrown in the first inning by Nick Silva. Silva back on the mound, ready to go. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. This is going to be horrible. Someone from the dugout playing around threw a ball on for the Texans onto the field. In the middle of the pitch for Silva, the second base umpire calls time. It was a swing and a miss. And now he's going to lose that strike. And so that sets up – that's the kind of crap, though, that it's frustrating. And it's got to be frustrating. Coach Vieira not happy, and I figured he's going to be frustrated. That came out of their own dugout in the middle of an at-bat. How does that punish Nick Silva and the Georgetown Eagles? But unfortunately, it's not a good pitch. He would have been way ahead in the count, 0-2 to Alderetti, and now it's an 0-1 count. The 0-1 pitch misses outside. So you just change scenarios, and what does that do to a pitcher's mindset? He's got to stay focused, but these are kids too at the same time. The 1-1 pitch, ground ball out towards short. Hellman backhands it. He'll fire across the diamond in time for out number 2, 6-3 in the book.
That's a grounder to shortstop for the second out of the inning. Now batting with 2
And
outs.
now here comes the number 9 hitter, Luis Morales, the right fielder, the number 9 hitter in the Texan lineup. He'll step in with 2 outs and bases empty. The Texans lead it 2-1. First pitch from Silva. Swing and a miss. 0-1 the count. Nick Silva, totally different look here in the second inning. And I was going to say something, Kelly, earlier, and I didn't know. We didn't talk about it. The 0-1 pitch bounces in there short. It's a ball. 1-1 the count. But Silva never starts out from the stretch.
Right.
And in the first inning, went from the stretch from the get-go and just never seemed to be in sync.
Now he's dealing. That ball, when that ball went past, it hit the brick and came right over the umpire's shoulder. Mazik caught it.
The 1-1 pitch outside for ball 2. 2-1 the count now to Luis Morales. Ryan Rodriguez, the center fielder, on deck. This one fouled off for strike 2. 2-2 now the count. And now a strike three called for out number 3.
Good quick inning.
And the Texans go in order here in the bottom of the second. After 2 innings, 2-1 your score. Corpus Christi Ray 2, Georgetown Eagles 1. Back with more Eagle baseball in a moment. And back here for the top of the third, while we had a slight power outage here in the top of the second inning, Zach Mozick came up to bat with the bases loaded. 1 run had come across on the Endon Petty hit by pitch. Or correction, the hit Endon Petty walk that scored Riley Leininger. And then Mozick put a ball into left center field, but the left center fielder, Talavera, ranged over to make the catch to end the inning. So the Eagles got 1 run in return. And now they come up here in the top of the third with the 2, 3, and 4 hitters due up. Davis, Bell, Heil, and Bell. First pitch to Davis misses outside. The catcher, Everett, set up way outside. He catches it outside and then puts it in the middle of the plate, totally away from his body.
Yeah.
Great. It's just a fantastic frame job, but it's just funny looking how it worked out. Davis into right center field, a base hit, and it's going to get passed all the way to the wall, all the way to right center to 350. Davis around first to second base. He's headed to third base around second, and he'll get into third base with sliding for a leadoff triple. E.J. Davis let the arrow fly, and the Eagles in business here in the top of the third.
Here's that second time through the order. And we talked a little bit about it earlier. If he can't make that breaking pitch work, then I think the Eagles can jump on this, and we saw E.J. do that right then.
First extra base hit of the ballgame, just the second hit of the ballgame for the Eagles, but now you have the leadoff man aboard in E.J. Davis in scoring position for your 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Heil steps in. He struck out for his first at bat, 0 for 1 on the night. Goss now steps off, wipes his eye. And now he'll reset. Goss from the stretch. The first pitch to Heil. And Heil hits it out towards second base. It's going to be played there by the second baseman in time. But that'll score the run from third base. And the Eagles have tied this up. What a job there by Landon Heil. The RBI ground out. Got it to the right side to get E.J. Davis home. Nice play there by Tina Harrow, the second baseman, to range over to his left, make the play, and make the throw. But the Eagles put the second run on the board.
I talked about it in the second inning, Wally. The Eagles couldn't let that first inning rattle them. So they put it in the back of their minds, kept playing their game, and now this ball game's tied.
Reese Bell steps in with 1 out here in the top of the third. Swing and miss at the first pitch. 0-1 to count.
That swing was not that low level, put the ball in play swing. That was I'm hitting for that 350 sign in left center field.
The 0-1 pitch outside, ball 1. 1-1 to count. Reese Bell, .625 batting average in the series against New Braunfels Canyon. And Kelly, I'll talk to you in a minute about his interview last night at the coach's show. I love the mindset of a leader like Reese Bell. The 1-1 pitch is high, ball 2. Reese walked in his first appearance back at the top of the second and was erased in the 5-4-3 double play by Logan Smith that Logan Smith hit into. So he steps in here with 1 out and a run across in the top of the third. Then he puts this one into right field, but right at the right fielder Morales for out number 2. L9 in the book. And that'll bring up Logan Smith. But I asked Reese about it yesterday in the coach's show. Reese, you have a series like that, .625 at the plate. One of the leaders on this team is a senior first baseman. An RBI to start the game in the bottom of the first in the game 3. An RBI walk-off single to end it. How does that feel? And he goes, tomorrow I start 0-0-0 batting average, and it's a new series, and it's time to go to work.
Love it.
He said, I enjoyed it for the night, but it was time to go back to work the next day. And the mindset of him, of Reese, it was great leadership shown on this team by the big first baseman. And 0-1 to count to Logan Smith. The 0-1 pitch outside for a ball. So 1-1, it evens out.
Want to welcome all our viewers on YouTube. Appreciate you joining us tonight for a great baseball game.
1-1 count to Logan Smith. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. Riley Leininger, the designated hitter, waits on deck. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Logan Smith. Goss from the windup. The 1-2 pitch, and Logan fouls it off himself. Stays alive in the at-bat. 1 ball and 2 strikes. A leadoff triple by E.J. Davis, and an RBI ground up by Landon Heil. Has tied this ball game up at 2 apiece here in the top of the 3rd. Smith back in. Now Smith will take a timeout. I liken Logan Smith to the old school Nomar Garcia-Parra in the adjustment of the gloves. The 1-2 pitch. And Logan Smith hits one to deep center field. And the center fielder, number 4, Rodriguez, ranges to his left about 8 steps and makes the catch. 4 out, number 3. F8 in the book, but not before the Eagles put up 1 run on 1 hit. No errors and no runners left on. After 2.5, we're tied up. 2-2 your score. More Eagle baseball in a moment. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. The Corpus Christi Ray Texans come up with the top of their lineup here in the bottom of the 3rd. The 1, 2, and 3 hitters, Ryan Rodriguez, Jack Bell, and Lucas Tinajero. First pitch in there for a called strike to Ryan Rodriguez, the center fielder. He reached on a walk to lead things off in the bottom of 1st. Came around to score on the triple by Jack Bell. The 0-1 pitch, ground ball out in front of the plate. Mozik's going to field it. He'll make the throw down to 1st in time. 4 out, number 1. 2-3 on the putout. Great job by Zachary Mozik to get out from behind the plate and make the throw down to Reese Bell at first base.
Nick looks so much more comfortable right now than he did in that 1st inning, and now he's just dealing and firing the ball, controlling the pitches, hitting the strike zone, letting him put the ball in play.
Jack Bell steps in. He's 1 for 1 in the ball game. He had an RBI triple in the 1st. This one just misses outside for ball 1. Came around to score the 2nd run of the inning on the ground out by Tinajero.
I think messing with the hitters a little bit. That's twice they've called time when he's starting his windup.
The line drive out to Reese Bell, and Reese snags it for out number 2. L3 in the book. E.J. Davis, you can tell he's fired up. He just threw a rocket to Logan Smith. That Logan, it wasn't that bad of a throw, but Logan didn't even have time to recognize it, and it came off the wall. L3, that ball hard hit, and you got to be ready for that. That's both balls that have been hit down the right first baseline by Bell. The first pitch to Tinajero is in there for a called strike. 0-1 to count. The 0-1 pitch. Ball hit into shallow right. Davis ranges from second base and makes the catch. 4 out, number 3. A quick inning, and the Texans go in order after 3 innings. 2-2 your score. Back with more Eagle baseball in a moment. We go to the top of the fourth inning, tied up 2-2. Leininger, Hellman, and Klaus Keismore do it for your Eagles. Leininger steps in to lead things off here in the top of the fourth, 1-for-1 in the ball game. He had a single in the top of the second. Advanced on a wild pitch, came around to score. First pitch to Leininger, in there for strike one. 0-1 to count to Riley Leininger. He'll take a time.
Little return favor.
Goss, 8 pitches in the first, 35 in the second, 11 in the third. We're 54 pitches coming into this inning. This 0-1 pitch misses low and inside. 4-ball, 1-1 to count now to Riley Leininger. Goss from the windup, the 1-1 pitch. Outside corner called strike two. One ball, 2 strikes to count the Leininger. The 1-2 pitch. And Leininger hits it down the first base line. The first baseman, Derek Rodriguez, fields it, makes the out by himself. 3 unassisted for out number 1. And that'll bring up Eli Hellman.
Seen some pretty clean fielding by this Texans team. I'm impressed up to this point because they've had a couple of tough plays.
In steps Eli Hellman. He walked in his first at bat, was left stranded at third base. Steps in here with 1 out at the top of the fourth. The first pitch to Hellman. Outside corner called strike one. Goss from the windup. The 0-1 pitch. Outside corner called strike two.
Now he's reining that breaking pitch in a little bit.
The 0-2 pitch to Hellman. Swing and a miss. Chased it. It's in the dirt.
Getting that breaking pitch to work is why he chased that pitch.
First strikeout of the night for Goss. That's 2 outs in the inning. That'll bring up Klaus Keismore. He was hit by a pitch in his first at bat, was left stranded at second base. Steps in here with 2 outs in the top of the fourth. The first pitch from Goss, up high and out for ball one.
I figured out what's wrong with Goss's delivery. He's not wearing his stirrups right there, outside of his shoes. That's the whole problem.
The 1-0 pitch, up high, ball two. Uniform etiquette in baseball.
That's it.
Surprisingly, like in basketball, they'll make you tuck your shirt in. They haven't said anything to him about fixing his stirrups. Because one, you don't want a cleat to catch on it, get him hurt. The 2-0 pitch, it's in there for a called strike. But the way UIL and the officiating goes, it's like the little things. Oh, your shirt's halfway untucked. Timeout in the game. Tuck your jersey up. But they'll stop it for the littlest of things. And so Goss has had him out since the beginning. 2-1 to count to Klaus Keismore. The 2-1 pitch. Outside corner, strike two. Now Goss going to try to live on the outside corner, and the Eagles letting him here in the top of the fourth. 2-2 to count to Klaus Keismore. From the windup, the 2-2 pitch. And a ground ball hit down the first base line, fielded by Derek Rodriguez. He'll make the play at first, 3 unassisted for out number 3. And the Eagles go in order here in the top of the fourth. After 3.5, we remain tied at 2 apiece. Back with more Eagle baseball in a moment here on SHN. go to the bottom of the fourth. The 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up. Mikey Everett, the catcher, 0 for 1 in the ball game. First pitch is a ball. Second one on the outside corner for strike one. 1-1 to count to the left-handed hitting catcher, Everett. Goss and Talavera up next. That one inside corner. Beautiful pitch there. Silva went outside corner, then came back inside corner. 1-2 the count now to Everett. Everett back in. Silva from the windup. The 1-2 pitch. Just high for ball 2. 42 pitches through 3 innings for Nick Silva. Everett steps back in. Silva from the windup. The 2-2 pitch. And that'll hit him. The first batter hit by a pitch by Silva. That was the leadoff man aboard. For the second time in the ballgame for the Texans. Jackson Galvan, the courtesy runner, comes out for the catcher Everett. Jackson Galvan runs for the catcher Everett. As number 14, Kevin Goss. Goss will step in from the left side. He's 1 for 1. Singled in the first, stole second base, was left stranded there.
He's a big kid.
Goss steps in from the left side. Galvan leads off first, held on by Reese Bell. Turned around, squared a bunt. Yeah, Goss pulls it back and takes it low for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Nick Talavera, the left fielder, on deck for the Texans. Galvan leads off first. The 1-0 pitch, up and out. Throw down back behind Galvan. He gets back in there. 2-0 the count now to Goss.
Where's that power sweep tag we need, Reese?
Silva comes set from the stretch. The 2-0 pitch. Outside corner called strike one.
Maybe a little makeup call there from that first pitch. I'll take it.
Goss pulled his bat back and took it. He kind of stared. 2-1 to count down. Silva the throw over. Galvan dove back in safely. 2 balls, 1 strike, no outs. Leadoff hitter aboard on a hit by pitch. Pickoff attempt. Galvan dives back in safely. 2 runs in the bottom of the first for the Texans. 1 run in the top of the second for the Eagles. 1 run in the top of the third to even it up at 2 apiece. Silva comes set. The 2-1 pitch. And Goss tries to bunt, but fouls it off back to the screen. And the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
He did us a favor reaching out for that one. They must have had a hit and run on, but base runner didn't know it.
So now a 2-2 count to the pitcher Goss. Galvan, the courtesy runner at first, leads off. The 2-2 pitch is up and away for ball 3, and now a full count to the pitcher Kevin Goss. The payoff pitch. It's in there. Called strike 3 as Goss tosses his bat, but he'll have to walk back to the dugout. Strikeout looking for out number 1 on the outside corner.
I don't think he agreed with that call.
Second strikeout for Nick Silva. And with 1 out, that'll bring up Nick Talavera, the left fielder. He grounded out, 0 for 1 in the ball game. Back to the first inning. First pitch to Talavera, swing and a miss, strike 1.
This sets up the 6-4-3 double play for us.
Hellman to Davis to Bell. One of our favorites in the defensive playbook. Talavera back in from the right side. Silva comes set. The 0-1 pitch, just high, ball 1. 1-1 to count. Coach Ruiz giving out the signs. Galvan leads off first, held on by Reese Bell. Silva comes set to Talavera. Pickoff attempt as Galvan dives back. Safely at first base. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Eagles. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Texans. The 1-1 pitch. A ball popped up on the right side of the infield. Bell gives chase, but it's going to curl out of play. 4 strike 2. 1-2 now the count to Talavera. Montoya, the third baseman, on deck for the Texans. Talavera will step out. Look over for signals down the third base coaching box. Talavera steps back in. Silva comes set. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 4 out, number 2. Third strikeout of the ball game for Nick Silva. And that'll bring up Darian Montoya. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. He lined out to Heil in right field. Back in the second inning. Steps in here with 2 outs and a runner on first. Outside corner. 4 strike 1. Beautiful pitch there by Silva on the first pitch.
Yeah, Zach did a good job of framing that one, too.
0-1 count to Montoya. Galvan off on the pitch. Pitch out. Mazik throws down in time. 2-4. On the caught stealing, Mazik and Nick Silva threw up on that one. Threw up high. Mazik out of his stance, threw down in time. And the third out of the inning comes via the caught stealing. No runs on no hits, no errors, no runners left on base. After 4 complete, we're all tied 2-2. Back with more Eagle baseball in a minute. Go to the top of the 5th inning. The 9-1-2 hitters due up for the Eagles. Petty, Mazik, and Davis. Andon Petty was walked in his first appearance. Grounds this one out to third. Nice play by Montoya. Throw across the diamond in time. 4 out, number 1. He was playing up on the grass, and that ball was hit hard right to his left. Fielded it, made the play. 4 out, number 1. 5-3 in the book.
1 pitch, 1 out. I expect Zach won't be swinging at this first pitch based on conversations we've had with the coach.
Zachary Mazik steps in, 0 for 2 on the night. 1 out here in the top of the 5th.
4-4 late.
First pitch, outside corner. Called a strike. 0-1 to count to Mazik. Goss from the windup. 66 pitches thrown through 4 innings. The 0-1 pitch. Mazik lays off and takes it inside for ball 1. 1-1 to count to Zach Mazik. Goss from the windup, the 1-1 pitch. And Mazik hits this into center field. Rodriguez, the center fielder, backs up about 5 steps and makes the catch. For out number 2, F8 in the book.
I've whined about the wind in a lot of games, but I could use a little bit right now. It's toasty.
E.J. Davis steps in, 1 for 2 in the ball game. A ground out in the first, a triple to lead things off in the third. Scored on a ground out by Landon Heil. He even tied this ball game up at 2 apiece. Steps in here with 2 outs. First pitch, outside corner. Called strike 1.
Goss seems to be locked back in now in that strike zone. Had some trouble in the last 2 innings, but.
The 0-1 pitch to Davis. Davis sends it down the right field line. But it's going to curl foul. I tell you what, that one stayed fair, and Davis may have had another triple as the right fielder, Morales, was playing about right center at the 350 sign. He had a long run and a lot of distance to cover. So he kind of gets bailed out there. 0-2 now the count to E.J. Davis. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The 0-2 pitch from Gus. This one misses way outside. 4-1. 1-2 the count to E.J. Davis. Davis gets back in the box. Goss from the windup. The 1-2 pitch. And Davis hits it down the first baseline, but it's just foul. As the umpire jumps over it.
That's the third ball he's put out towards left field. You would think right field. You'd think that right fielder would scoot over a little bit, so it's going to be kind of interesting to see where he positions himself.
He's kind of playing himself shaded more towards that 350 where E.J. Davis put that triple.
Coach just motioned to him, stop. Now hit something to the gap.
I was going to say, now that 350 sign just got bigger for E.J. Davis.
And he's perfectly capable of laying it out there.
The 1-2 pitch from Gus. Misses outside, ball 2. 2-2 the count now to E.J. Davis.
Changed it to a ball.
It was a ball anyway, so now it's going to be 3-2, I believe. They're calling the balk on the uneven approach at the plate. They are at the rubber. The hills have to be in contact. Both hills have to be in contact in FHS rules in high school baseball here in Texas. A little bit different on the approach to the balk rule. And that's what happened against the big Cedar Park game at Georgetown when we came back and won the game. But it was called 4 different times that night. And so if that's what he had called, Goss does line up off the rubber offset from the windup. And the hills have to be both in touch with the rubber. So Coach Ruiz out to discuss it with the third base umpire.
I wonder if they've warned him once already.
So Coach Ruiz looks at Goss and confirms, hey, you're aware. So if that's a ball, then it should be a 3-2 count now. So we'll see if the umpire holds his fingers up. Well, he says 2-2. Well, that pitch was a ball anyway, so 2-2 count to E.J. Davis with 2 outs. The 2-2 pitch. Outside, ball 3.
Two outs. Got him where we want him.
The payoff pitch to Davis. Ground ball hit out between short and third. Montoya lays out for it. He'll get up, throw across the diamond. In time, bang, bang play. And they'll call out E.J. Davis at first base. 4 out, number 3. 5-3 on the putout. And the Eagles go in order here in the 5th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no runners left on base. After 4.5, still tied at 2 apiece. Back with more Eagle baseball in just a moment here on SHN. Go to the bottom of the 5th. The 7, 8, 9 hitters due up. And the first pitch hits Montoya. Second batter hit by a pitch by Nick Silva. And the Texans had the leadoff man aboard to start the bottom of the 5th.
Now batting with 1 on and nobody out.
Third time in 5 innings for the Texans to have their leadoff man aboard. Start the inning. In steps Frankie Alderetti, the DH. High pitch inside. He bunts it down the first baseline. Silva scoops it, throws the first in time for the sac bunt. 1-3 on the putout. That'll move Montoya up to second base with one out.
Protected himself. That one came in a little bit farther than he was expecting it to come in. He popped that head back.
That'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Luis Morales. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Struck out looking to end the second inning.
1 on and 1 out is right fielder number 6, Luis Morales.
And now it'll be a pinch runner for the third baseman, Darian Montoya. The pinch runner will be Isaiah Tinajero.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a pinch runner on for the Texans. Now at second base will be number 12, Isaiah Tinajero. Again, pinch runner for the Texans. In for Montoya.
So Tinajero, number 12, Isaiah Tinajero, not number 3, the second baseman Tinajero. Now into pinch run for Montoya. Silva will spin towards second. Tinajero back in time, no throw.
That was close to a balk, and that's what the coach is saying.
1 out, a runner at second base. Luis Morales, 0 for 1 in the ballgame, steps in from the right side. The first pitch, inside corner, strike 1. Silva, after that first inning where he threw 26 pitches, settles in and now been working the corners on these Texan hitters. It's the 0-1 count. Turn and look at second base. The 0-1 pitch, outside corner, just misses. 4-1, 1-1 to count now to Morales. Ryan Rodriguez, the center fielder, on deck for the Texans.
Both these pitchers have really settled in after the first 3 innings of this game.
The 1-1 pitch, breaking ball, fouled off down the first base line, off the netting. 1-2, now the count to Morales with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. 2-2 your score. 2 runs in the bottom of the first for Corpus Christi Ray. 1 run in the top of the second and 1 run in the top of the third for the Eagles. The 1-2 pitch, high for ball 2. Count evens out, 2-2 now to Morales, the right fielder. Silva from the stretch. Tinajero leads off second. The 2-2 pitch, fouled off back to the screen. Pitches by inning, 26 in the first for Silva, 10 in the second, 6 in the third, 17 in the fourth. 59 pitches coming into this 5th inning. Silva comes settled here. Turn towards second base. Tinajero gets back to the bag safely. No throw from Silva. Silva comes set, a look back at second. The 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball, fouled off back to the screen. Morales staying alive. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Silva comes set. The 2-2 pitch. Ground ball up the middle. E.J. Davis will field it by the bag. The throw to first in time for out number 2. And the runner moves up to third base with 2 outs. 4-3 on the putout. Davis to Bell.
That's a grounder to second.
Now Tinajero
Tinajero moves from second to third.
goes up to third base, and that'll bring up Ryan Rodriguez, the center fielder. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game.
1 on and 2 outs is number 4, center fielder Ryan Rodriguez.
Rodriguez walked in the first, scored a run. Grounds this one out towards second base. Davis fields it. He'll throw to first in time for out number 3. And the Texans are down here in the bottom of the 5th. No runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on. After 5 complete innings, we stay tied, 2 apiece between the Eagles and Texans. More Eagle baseball in a moment on SHN. Don't miss the UIL Baseball State Championship starting Wednesday, June 8th at UFCU Dish Frog Field in Austin, Texas, and the Dell Diamond in Round Rock, Texas. Ticket information and more can be found at uiltexas.org. And we go to the top of the 6th inning, all squared, 2-2 between the Eagles and the Texans. Corpus Christi Ray, the home team tonight, here in game number 1. Kyle, Bell, and Smith due up here for the Eagles in the top of the 6th. Landon Heil steps in. First pitch is in the turf for ball 1. Heil 0 for 2 in the ball game. A strikeout and a ground out, an RBI ground out to score E.J. Davis from third. The 1-0 pitch, outside corner called strike 1. 1-1 now to Landon Heil.
Great ball game. I hate it. Makes me nervous.
Nice close game. The 1-1 pitch to Heil, and he'll ground it out. A bouncer out towards short. Jack Bell up with it. The throw on the run in time, and that's why you can tell he is one of the top shortstops in baseball here in high school in Texas, going to Arizona. 6-3 on the putout. What a throw.
Nice sure-handed play, and again, if he lets that one bounce again, he won't make that throw, but he scooped it, made a nice throw over, and we've seen a lot of good plays by those middle infielders.
Reese Bell 0 for 1 in the ball game. Walked back in the second. Lined out to the right fielder in the third. Steps in here with 1 out in the top of the 6th. Goss still on the mound. The first pitch to Bell. Outside corner called strike 1. 77 pitches through 5 innings for Goss. 0-1 to count to Bell. The 0-1 pitch. And Bell hits it into right field for a base hit. He went with that outside pitch. What a job there, Kelly, to see that outside breaking ball. Bell goes with it, puts it into right field for a 1-out single.
He did a great job, a great piece of hitting, because that wasn't his swing for the fence hit. He had a ball he could do something with, send it to the opposite field.
And now a pinch runner for Reese Bell is going to be number 23, Jacob Faltasek. He'll come on to pinch run for Reese Bell here in the top of the 6th inning.
He took Wheels off the base path.
Wheels gets to go take a break in the dugout. Until defensively, he'll come back out in the bottom of the 6th. But Faltasek, speedy two-sport star for the Georgetown programs, plays football for the Georgetown Eagles. Just a junior.
On first base running for Bell is number 23, Jacob Faltasek. Again, pinch runner number 23, Faltasek.
Logan Smith steps in here. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. A ground out in the second, a fly ball to center field in the third. And now a timeout. Not sure why, but we all will reset. 1 out here in the top of the 6th. Logan Smith steps in, a pickoff attempt to first. Faltasek dives back in safely.
Now him you want to keep close to the bag.
Riley Leininger on deck for the Eagles. Here in the top of the 6th, Logan Smith back in from the right side. The first pitch to him from Goss is going to come after another pickoff attempt, and it gets away. A lazy play by the first baseman, Rodriguez, and Faltasek will move up to second base on the error. That's going to be an error on the first baseman in my mind. He had the ball hit his glove. I think he went for that tag before he had the ball and just kind of got systematically lazy in it. And so that's an error.
Yeah, he just kind of lackadaisical and reaching out for that ball across his body, but it was a lazy throw over just to keep him close. Lazy attempt to catch the lazy throw, and runner moves up.
Baltasek now at second base with one out. Logan Smith still waiting to see his first pitch of the at-bat. Goss comes set, looks back at second base. The first pitch to Smith. Logan takes it on the inside corner for a called strike. 0-1 to count.
Beautiful setting tonight, beautiful views, just great atmosphere.
0-1 to count to Logan Smith. The 0-1 pitch. Smith pop up on the left side of the infield. The shortstop Bell will call off the third baseman and take it in the third baseman spot for out number 2. P6 in the book.
That's a pop out for the shortstop for the second out of the inning.
That'll bring up Riley Leiniger. Leiniger 1 for 2 in the ball game. Singled in the second, came around to score the first run of the game for the Eagles, and then grounded out to the third baseman in the fourth inning. Steps in here, 1 for 2 on the night. A runner down at second base with 2 outs in the top of the 6th. The first pitch to Leiniger. He'll take it low and outside for ball 1. Eli Hellman waits on deck for the Eagles.
Look how deep the second baseman's playing, Riley. He knows where he's likely to put this pitch. Just hit it over his head, Riley.
The 1-0 pitch. Leiniger takes it low and outside for ball 2. Goss pitching Riley away at this at-bat completely. As both first 2 at-bats for Leiniger, the balls were pulled to the right side. The first baseman playing back almost on the grass. The second baseman 4 or 5 steps into right field. The 2-0 pitch to Leiniger. Low and outside, ball 3.
That's how you play a pull hitter.
3-0 count to Riley Leiniger. Here with 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Baltasek, the runner at second. The 3-0 pitch. Outside, ball 4. Fourth walk of the night issued by the pitcher Goss. And that has 2 runners aboard with 2 outs, and that brings up Eli Hellman. The junior shortstop steps in. 0 for 1 of the night. Walked in the second inning. Was left stranded at third base. Struck out swinging in the 4th. Steps in here with 2 outs and runners on first and second in the top of the 6th. Goss takes a look at second. The first pitch to Hellman in there. Called strike 1. A base hit to score Baltasek from second base. Any extra base hits, Leiniger could score from first. The 0-1 pitch will be delayed. A turn towards second base. Baltasek hustles back, but no throw as no one was covering the bag for the Texans. So, chance to keep Baltasek close. 0-1 to count to Hellman. The 0-1 pitch. Hellman turns and squares and drops the bunt down the third baseline, but it's going to trickle foul.
Oh, that's a good idea. Wow.
Third baseman was playing back behind the bag, but Hellman just got too much of it, and it rolled foul. 0-2, now the count to Eli Hellman, the shortstop. Ty Klaus Keismore waits on deck for the Eagles. Top of the 6th inning, runners on first and second with 2 outs. 0-2 to count to Eli Hellman. The lefty Goss comes set, a look at second. The 0-2 pitch. Hellman swinging a miss, strike 3. And the Eagles are down here in the top of the 6th. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, 2 runners left on, no runs on 1 hit, 1 error, 2 runners left on base. After 5.5, we're still tied 2-2. Back with more Eagle Baseball in a moment. Go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Jack Bell will lead it off. Ball grounded out towards short. Hellman's got to make a quick play. A throw on the run. Not in time. Yes, in time. Bang, bang play. Bell signaled safe. The umpire signaled out. And what a play by Eli Hellman. 6-3.
Now batting will be second baseman number 3, Lucas Tinajero.
We're out number 1.
I just noticed they got the pitch count on the scoreboard.
First pitch to Lucas Tinajero is outside for a ball.
Shows how much attention I've been paying to the scoreboard.
69 pitches through 5 innings for Silva. The 1-0 pitch to Tinajero. Ball flown out down the right field line, but it's going to curl out of play. 1-1 now the count to Lucas Tinajero, the second baseman. Montoya did come back in at third base defensively after being pinch run for. Reese Bell has come back in at first base after being pinch run for by Faltusek for the Eagles. Silva from the windup. The 1-1 pitch to Tinajero. Outside corner just misses for ball 2. 2-1 the count. Wade Denton warms up in the Eagle bullpen. The 2-1 pitch to Tinajero. Ground ball down the third baseline. Pulled foul. And the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Got some work in their bullpen going.
The 2-2 pitch. Misses low and outside. Full count now to Tinajero with 1 out. Base is empty. Here in the bottom of the 6th, the payoff pitch. Strike 3 called, and Tinajero knew it. He turned around and started walking back to the dugout. Beautiful pitch there by Nick Silva, his 4th strikeout of the ball game. And that'll bring up the catcher, Mikey Everett. He's 0 for 1 of the ball game. Grounded out in the 1st, was hit by a pitch, and in the 4th. The first pitch to Everett, fouled off, back out of play. 0-1 to count. To Everett. This one just misses off the outside corner. 1-1 now, the count to the catcher. Kevin Goss, the pitcher on deck. The 1-1 pitch to Everett. In there for a called strike.
Last inning, I thought Nick might be getting a little bit tired, but seems to be dealing well in this inning.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Everett. The 1-2 pitch. Just misses. Or ball 2. Thought he was about to get rung up there. 2-2 the count to Everett with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th. 2-2 your score. The 2-2 pitch. Ball hit out into right field. Landon Heil to his right about 5 steps for the catch. L9 in the book. And the Texans go in order here in the bottom of the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors, no runners left on. We go to the 7th inning, all square, 2-2. Eagle baseball continues in a moment. And we go to the top of the 7th inning. Kelly, what a ball game.
It is a great ball game, exactly what you'd expect from these two teams. And it's not over yet.
Klaus Keismore, Andon Petty, and Zachary Mazik due up here in the top of the 7th for your Eagles, the 8-9-1 hitters in the lineup. Ty will step in here, 0 for 1 in the ball game. He was hit by a pitch in the 2nd inning. Grounded out to the first baseman in the 4th. Goss back on the mound, 92 pitches thrown to this point in the ball game. First pitch to Klaus Keismore. He hits it out towards second base. Up with it is Tina Harrow. On to first for out number 1, 4-3 in the book, and that'll bring up Andon Petty. Petty 0 for 1 in the ball game. He was walked, an RBI on that walk with the bases loaded to score Leininger, the first run of the game for the Eagles, and then grounded out to the third baseman on a beautiful play by Montoya in the 5th. Steps in here with a 1 out. From the right side, Goss from the windup, the first pitch. Petty takes it in there for a called strike. 0-1 to count to Andon Petty. Zachary Mazik waits on deck for the Eagles. The 0-1 pitch. Ground ball out towards short. Shortstop up with it. Throw across the diamond in time by Bell for out number 2. 6-3 on the putout.
I sure would like to see him boot one.
And now here comes Zachary Mazik. He's 0 for 3 in the ball game. A ground out and 2 flyouts. Have to say that Zachary Mazik is due here in the top of the 7th with 2 outs. The first pitch to Mazik. He'll lay off and take it for a called strike. The senior catcher in from the left side. The lefty-lefty matchup with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. The 0-1 pitch from Goss. Mazik slaps it down the third baseline out of play. For strike 2, 0-2 to count. E.J. Davis, the second baseman on deck. Should the Eagles get to him. 0-2 count to Mazik from Goss. The 0-2 pitch. And that'll hit Mazik in the back. A costly hit by pitch. Second one of the ball game for Goss. A 2-out base runner. And that will bring up none other than Zach Zavala. The courtesy runner for the catcher, Mazik. Zach Zavala, one of the fastest guys on this team. He represents the go-ahead run for the Eagles here in the top of the 7th. 2 outs. As E.J. Davis steps in. E.J. 1 for 3. 2 ground outs, but he also has that triple to lead things off in the 3rd inning and came in to score the second run of the ball game to tie it up. He'll step in here with 2 outs and a runner on first.
We sure need another triple from him.
Zavala back to the bag standing. Safe at first on the pickoff attempt. Expect Goss to throw over several times for the speedy Zavala. Try to keep him close. Goss comes set. Zavala off on the pitch. The throw down, it's into center field. Zavala's going to get up, and now he's going to be held at second. It looked like the second baseman came down on Zavala, unable to get up and take off quickly. Gets up and then just kind of hovers back down. So the throwing mistake doesn't come back to haunt the Texans there.
Last series, we saw a running mistake on a play very similar to that, and runner was thrown out at third. Nice that he stayed there and keep that run alive in scoring position.
Now the go-ahead run at second base. 1-0 the count to E.J. Davis. Goss's pitch, the 1-0 pitch, way outside and gets away, and Zavala takes off, and now a throw down. But that throw from the catcher, he started to throw before he looked because it came back off that wall, the brick wall. But when he threw wide of the third baseman. A great play by the shortstop, Bell, to be backing up. And Zavala gets back to the bag. So now the go-ahead run just 90 feet away, Kelly, with a 2-0 count to E.J. Davis.
Nice heads up by the coach down there on the third base, seeing that ball being backed up over there and sending the runner back to third.
Second wild pitch of the ball game for Goss.
But we said earlier that quick ricochet from that brick could come into play, and it could have right there, just a poor throw from the catcher.
2-0 count to E.J. Davis. The 2-0 pitch. Outside, ball 3. E.J. Davis. Landon Heil waits on deck. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. The Eagles trying to push one across to take the lead. The 3-0 pitch. Up high, and they walk him.
Doing some work with 2 outs. We've seen it a bunch this season, seen it a bunch in the playoffs. Oh, no.
EJ gets cowed up. EJ Davis kept running, trying to get Zavala home from third base, and the home plate umpire now is saying Davis did not score. The umpire was not in a good position, and Coach Vieira is not happy.
It's the right call.
So, the 3rd out recorded, trying to make a play happen. You hate to take a bat out of a player's hand like Landon Heil and maybe wait till the pitch occurred, but you take a chance there as Davis took off running, but the Texans ready for it. And they tag out E.J. Davis prior to Zavala scoring the go-ahead run. So the end of the top of the 7th comes with no runs put up. We'll take a quick break. Be back with more Eagle baseball in just a moment. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Wade Denton comes in to pitch for your Eagles here in the bottom of the 7th. He'll face the 5, 6, and 7 hitters. First pitch, swing and a miss by Goss. 0-1 to count. The 0-1 pitch, inside corner, strike 2. Goss was backing out there as that was on the inside part of the plate. 0-2 the count now from Wade Denton to Goss. The 0-2 pitch. Outside corner, called strike 3.
Goss is saying, where was those calls for me?
Second time struck out looking tonight for Goss.
Now batting is left fielder number 9, Nick Talavera.
1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Nick Talavera, the left fielder, steps in 0 for 2 in the ball game. The first pitch from Denton, swing and a miss, strike 1. Wade Denton, the unanimous closer of the year in District 25-5A. Found out Monday night at the Eagle Baseball Banquet. It was a great night to be at. Wade Denton, unanimous. The 0-1 pitch up and high over the head of Talavera. 1-1 the count.
Well, Nolan Ryan fastball coming in, making you pucker a little bit.
Denton comes set from the stretch. The 1-1 pitch. Low and outside, ball 2. I love the way Coach explained it at the banquet. What that meant, he goes, I nominate, I can't vote. Every other coach went, I don't have a closer like that.
Yeah.
The 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. So congrats to the closer of the year in 25-5A. He's in here now for the Eagles in the bottom of the 7th. Tie ball game. 2-2 your score.
Forget the curveball, Wade. Give him the heater.
The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3.
There it is.
Second out in the inning, both via the strikeout. One looking, one swinging. And that'll bring up Darian Montoya, the third baseman. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Lined out to right in the second inning. Was hit by a pitch in the fifth. Steps in here with bases empty and 2 outs. The first pitch. Low and outside, ball 1. The crazy thing about a closer like Denton is he's been in games where he's come in relief and pitched 6 2/3 innings, 4 2/3 innings. So Denton with the ability to go longer distances, a complete game if you need, or to come in at 1 inning situation and shut things down.
Yeah, we saw Wade struggle one series, but the defense picked him up.
The 1-0 pitch, ground ball hit out towards Bell at first. He'll field it. He's going to pitch to Denton, covering at first base. And the Texans go in order here in the bottom of the 7th. 3-1 on the putout. And the Texans are down with 2 strikeouts and a ground out to end the 7th inning. Bonus baseball comes your way here in a minute on SHN. More Eagle baseball in a second. Go to the top of the 8th inning. Extra baseball at no extra charge here on SHN. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for your Eagles. 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 error for the Texans. As we go to the top of the 8th, the Eagles bring up the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, Heil, Bell, and Smith. Heil 0 for 3 in the ball game with an RBI. Steps in here to lead things off. Goss still on the mound with 102 pitches thrown for the Texans. The first pitch to Heil. Low for a ball.
Landon's due. The line drive to left field would be fantastic.
The 1-0 pitch, outside corner. Everett set up there. Goss hit it. 1-1 to count to Landon Heil. Goss from the windup. The 1-1 pitch. Low. Whoa.
Part of the strike zone.
Whoa.
Low part of the strike zone.
1-2, a called strike there. 1-2 to Heil. The 1-2 pitch. Heil hits it out towards shortstop. Bell up with it. Sets his feet. Throws across the diamond in time. 4 out, number 1. 6-3 on the putout.
He still hasn't booted one.
And that's why he's a commit to the University of Arizona. D1 commit.
Boy, from
Computer skills on check. Somebody's watching baseball.
leave me alone.
Reese Bell steps in here. He's 1 for 2 on the night. A walk in the second, a line out in the third, a base hit in the 6th. The first pitch from Goss, low and inside. 4 strike 1. Bell jumped out of the way.
My computer skills, your umpiring skills.
0-1 to Bell. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Oh, Reese, come on, man. Reese is wanting to make this his ball game.
Bell down in the count, 0-2. Goss from the windup, the 0-2 pitch. Bell hits it down the right field line, but it's going to curl foul. Nice shot there. Bell stays alive. At this point, anything you can do to run this pitch count up. Goss is close to the limit of pitches thrown in a series. I believe it's 120. He's at 109 officially on the scoreboard. The 0-2 pitch to Reese Bell. Outside for ball 1. If Everett would have got that one, that would have been the frame of the year. He was well into the left-handed batter's box. Pulled it back. 1-2 the count to Bell. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Bell down for out number 2.
Still got good command of his pitches. He finally got control of that breaking pitch, and he's been able to use it effectively to keep Georgetown off balance.
And Logan Smith will come into bat here with 2 outs, but not before we get a substitution. Goss will exit the game with 111 pitches thrown. After 7 2/3 innings, what a job by the starter, Kevin Goss. Looks like Goss will probably move. Looks like he is going to go over to first base. The first baseman, number 5, Rodriguez, will come out of the ball game. The pitcher is going to be number 19, Darian Montoya. The third baseman comes into pitch, and a new third baseman. We'll have to find the number of the third baseman for the Texans. We'll take a quick timeout. Be back and set it up. You're listening to Eagle Baseball on SHN. And we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The 8, 9, and 1 hitters due up for the Texans. Wade Denton back on the mound for the Eagles. The first pitch, swing and a miss by Alderete, the designated hitter. He's 0 for 1 in the game. Grounded out in the second, dropped a sacrifice bunt in the 5th. Steps in here to lead off the 8th. The 0-1 pitch in there for a called strike, 0-2. Denton threw 10 pitches in the 7th inning. Alderete comes set. The 0-2 pitch. Outside corner just misses for ball 1.
Almost 500 of you watching on YouTube. We appreciate you tuning in. You got a great ball game tonight, Texas High School playoff baseball.
2-2 here in the bottom of the 8th. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. For out number 1. Third strikeout out of 4 batters faced by Wade Denton.
Crowd still into it. Both teams traveled well tonight. both represented.
Be back here again tomorrow night for game 2 of this series. 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock first pitch. The Eagles will be the home team in game number 2. Denton to Morales. Outside corner, called strike 1. The leadoff batter, Ryan Rodriguez, due up next for the Texans. The 0-1 pitch. In there for a called strike.
Boy, Wade came in just throwing fire.
0-2 to count to Morales. He looked back and kind of shook his head at home plate umpire.
It was a good pitch.
Beautiful pitch by Denton. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Woo. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. 4th strikeout for Wade Denton.
It's funny because Wade is not the tallest guy on the team by any stretch of the imagination, but boy, his fastball is really lively tonight.
Ryan Rodriguez, the center fielder, steps in 0 for 2. First pitch, outside corner, called strike 1.
He reaches way back with that pitch and just puts his whole body, gets that upper body moving forward with a good leg kick.
The 0-1 pitch, outside, ball 1. 1-1 to count. Rodriguez walked and scored a run in the first, then grounded out 2 times in the 3rd and the 5th. Steps in here with 2 outs and bases empty in the bottom of the 8th. The 1-1 pitch, inside corner, called strike 2. 1-2 the count to Ryan Rodriguez.
Just when you think he's going to throw another fastball, he pulls something off of it, pulls a string on it.
1-2 pitch, outside corner. Just misses for ball 2. 2-2 the count to Rodriguez. Denton comes set. The 2-2 pitch. Just misses for ball 3. First batter for Denton to reach 3 balls on. To the leadoff batter, Ryan Rodriguez. Denton comes set. The payoff pitch. Fouled off. And Rodriguez stays alive. 3-2 the count. Jack Bell, the shortstop, on deck for the Texans. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here at the bottom of the 8th. Bases empty. The payoff pitch. Outside, ball 4. A 2-out walk. As the winning run on first base. And now a tough hitter comes up here for the Texans. One of their 2 hits came at the hands of Jack Bell. As he steps in here, he had an RBI triple in the first. Lined out in the 3rd and grounded out in the 6th. Steps in here with a runner on first and 2 outs. First pitch in there for a called strike. 0-1 to count to Jack Bell. Denton comes set. The 0-1 pitch in there, called strike 2. I think Bell was sitting on a fastball. Girls assistant basketball coach Jaron Vieira, biggest cheerleader out of the dugout. The 0-2 pitch up high, ball 1. Not going to give Bell anything good to hit there on an 0-2 count.
Georgetown fans are going to explode if he can get this strikeout.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Runner on first. The 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Bell didn't like it. He jumps up and down and surprised he didn't get run. He looks back at the home plate umpire.
Still talking.
Throws his bat down. The umpire ignored him. But Wade Bell strikes out this side.
You got to ignore that in this atmosphere.
1 runner left on base as we go to the top of the 9th. 2-2 your score. Back with more Eagle baseball in a moment. go to the top of the ninth inning.
For the Eagles, number 20, designated hitter.
Leiniger, Hellman, and Klaus Keismore due up for the Eagles. Montoya on to pitch for the second inning of relief. The first pitch to Leiniger. In there for a called strike. 0-1 to count to Riley Leiniger. The 0-1 pitch to Leiniger. Swing and a miss. Strike two. 0-2 the count to the designated hitter, Riley Leiniger. 1 for 2 on the night. A single, a walk, and a ground out. The 0-2 pitch up and away for ball one. 1-2 the count to Riley. Montoya from the windup. The 1-2 pitch. Leiniger sends it high down the third baseline. It's going to curl into foul territory. A long run for the left fielder. But Talavera will make the catch in foul territory for out number one. F7. And that'll bring up Eli Hellman. Eli 0 for 2 in the ball game. Walked in the second, struck out swinging in the fourth and the sixth inning. He'll step in here with one out and nobody on base. Ty Klaus Keismore on deck for the Eagles here in the top of the ninth.
We said in the pregame that Max Preps had Corpus Christi Ray number 1, us number 2, and this is exactly what you would expect in the regional semifinal from these two quality ball clubs.
Montoya from the windup. First pitch, the breaking ball in there for a called strike. Love to see Logan Smith sit on that one and bury that one into the trees like he did at New Braunfels last Friday night. The 0-1 pitch to Smith, or Hellman, fouled off, out of play.
There are trees behind us.
He buried it into the trees. 0-2 the count to Eli Hellman. Shortstop for the Eagles steps back in. Montoya from the windup. The 0-2 pitch. Ground ball out towards short. Jack Bell will field it on the run. Can't get it out of his glove. Now does. And the throw in time. 6-3. For out number 2.
Little tiny mistake, but it didn't cost him.
That'll bring up Ty Klaus Keismore. It's Keismore. 0-2 on the ball game for Keismore. He was hit by a pitch in the second inning. Grounded out in the fourth and grounded out in the seventh. Steps in here with 2 outs in the top of the ninth. Montoya from the windup. He's shaking off 82 pitches at this point. Now he gets it. But a timeout called. And a good job by Klaus Keismore. Montoya kept shaking off the catcher. So time wasn't ready. Stepped out. Now we'll all reset from the windup. The first pitch. It's in there for a called strike.
He's got a lively fastball, too.
0-1 the count to Ty. The left fielder for the Eagles. Montoya, the 0-1 pitch. Low and outside. Ball 1. 1-1 the count to Ty.
He's shaking off breaking pitches.
The 1-1 pitch from Montoya. Klaus Keismore into center field. A 2-out single. Will bring up Andon Petty. Good job of hitting there by the left fielder. Ty Klaus Keismore on the 1-1 pitch. Just the 4th hit of the ball game for the Eagles. And now here comes the speedy Andon Petty, the center fielder. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. Walked and an RBI in the second inning. Ground out in the 5th and the 7th. The third baseman, Quezada, even with the bag at third. Goss will hold Klaus Keismore on at first. Pickoff attempt. Klaus Keismore dives back in safely, well ahead of the throw. A little bit easier situation for the runners with the righty on the mound. Ty leads off first. From the stretch, the first pitch is high for ball 1 to Andon Petty.
This is a great atmosphere, man. These fans are into it. Players are playing really well.
1-0 count to Petty with 2 outs here in the top of the ninth. Klaus Geismore leads off second, a pickoff attempt. He dives back in. Goss doesn't even tag. Just keeping Klaus Geismore close. At first, not wanting to let the go-ahead run get up into scoring position. 2 outs here in the top of the ninth. And in Petty, the 1-0 count. Ty's running. The 1-1, he swings and misses. The throw down, not going to be in time. Now Ty slid past the bag. Here comes Coach Vieira. The second base umpire was on the inside of the bag. Called him safe on the initial slide, and then said he's out on the overslide. Ty saying he never left the bag. He was able to get back. Coach Vieira arguing it. There's no way. And I think Coach Vieira may be arguing, how are you going to see if he's off the backside of the bag? You're on the inside. So the argument down at second base. And so out number 3 recorded at second base on the caught stealing. Due to the overslide, Klaus Geismore was safe on the stolen base. So he gets credit for the stolen base, but then tagged out after oversliding and not getting back.
I think what he's saying is he pushed him off the bag.
But the ruling stands, and we go to the bottom of the ninth. No runs, no hits. Correction, no runs, 1 hit, no error. No runners left on base after 8.5. Still tied up 2-2. More Eagle baseball in a moment.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Texas. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
We go to the bottom of the ninth inning. The 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up for the Texans. Tina Harrow, Everett, and Goss. Denton on to work his 3rd inning of relief for the Eagles. The first pitch to Tina Harrow in there for a called strike. 6 outs recorded by Denton on the mound, 5 of them via the strikeout. He's walked 1 and had a 1 ground out. The 0-1 pitch to Tina Harrow. Fouled off back to the screen, 0-2 the count. Everett and Goss due up next for the Texans here in the bottom of the ninth. Foul off back to the screen.
This game goes too long, it's going to be way past my bedtime.
We get to drive back home and come back and do it again tomorrow. No balls and 2 strikes. Ball slapped down the right field line, but it's going to curl out of play. Count remains 0-2 to Tina Harrow. Lucas, the second baseman, 0 for 3 on the night. An RBI on his ground out in the first inning. Popped up in the second or the third and struck out in the 6th. Strikes out here in the bottom of the ninth. Swing and a miss. We're out number 1.
Mazik's so fired up. He pumped his fist before he threw that ball down to third.
6th strikeout for Denton. And here comes Mikey Everett, the catcher. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. A ground out in the first, was hit by a pitch in the 4th, and then lined out to right field in the 6th. Steps in here with 1 out, and the base is empty in the bottom of the ninth. Denton from the stretch, the first pitch on the outside corner, called strike 1.
Like you said earlier, Wally, he's come in and thrown a lot of innings before, so you bring your closer in, you expect 1 or 2 innings maybe, but Wade can go a long way.
Off-speed pitch, and Everett fouls it off for strike 2. 0-2 the count. The longest relief I saw earlier in the year is against Rouse at home. Came in and Denton threw 6 2/3 innings. The 0-2 pitch. And it looks like he was swinging. They're going to say no now, so it's a hit by pitch. An 2
Everett
pitch.
is hit by the pitch and takes first base.
Second time that Everett has been hit by a pitch tonight.
Now batting is number 14, Kevin Goss.
Courtesy runner will come in here for the catcher Everett. It'll be Jamison Galvan.
We do have a courtesy runner on first base.
So 1 out.
Running for Everett.
Here in the bottom of the ninth, the winning run for the Texans is on first base.
Courtesy runner on first base, number 2, Galvan.
Kevin Goss, 1 for 3 in the ball game. A single in the first, 2 strikeouts after that. The throw over to first, Galvan drives back in safely.
I wish I had this sound system in my house.
Beautiful system, beautiful field here.
Yeah, it is.
At
Great
Northeast
facility.
Stadium. The first pitch skips in, it gets behind Mazick, and Galvan will get up there, the wild pitch. First one of the ball game for any Eagle pitcher, and that's a big one, as now the game-winning run for the Texans is down in scoring position. Want to know the count to Goss. Hellman in to talk to Denton. Might expect a bunt here from Goss. Trying to get that winning run just 90 feet away. And now you start to hear the Ray fans cheering in the background. A 1-0 pitch to Goss. Galvan leads off second base. Goss will take a timeout here as Dent was taking his time getting the signal. Denton toes the rubber from the stretch. He'll come set. The 1-0 pitch will come. Another pickoff attempt, but this one at second base doesn't draw a throw. Galvan scatters back in. Winning run. Second base for the Texans with 1 out here in the bottom of the ninth. The 1-0 pitch to Goss. Just low, ball 2. Two 2-0 the count to Goss. Nick Talavera, the left fielder, on deck. Now they're going to go ahead and intentionally walk Goss to get the force play. In order.
Get this double play. Get out of this.
Talavera steps in. He's 0 for 3 in the ball game. A ground out in the first, 2 strikeouts in the fourth and the seventh. Steps in here. The first pitch to Talavera. In there, just low. Thought it was in there. 1-0 the count to Talavera. Talavera hits from the right side. Goss leads off first. Galvan off second. Montoya, the pitcher, on deck. The 1-0 pitch in there. Called strike. 1-1 the count to Talavera. 1-1 the count. 1 out here in the bottom of the ninth. Runners on first and second. The only one that really matters here for the Texans and the Eagles both is the winning run at second base for the Texans. The 1-1 pitch. Misses low and outside. 2-1 the count.
I wonder if Wade's starting to get a little tired.
Denton comes set in the stretch. The 2-1 pitch to Talavera. In there, called strike 2. Talavera had moved the bat off his shoulder in this at bat. Struck out swinging in the fourth, struck out swinging in the seventh. Grounded out to short in the first inning. 0 for 3 in the ball game. Big spot here. 2-2 count with 2 runners on. 1 out here in the bottom of the ninth. The 2-2 pitch. Low for ball 3. Full count to Nick Talavera, the left fielder.
Big pitch.
Denton comes set. Talavera back in the box. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Woo. Out number 2. 7th strikeout recorded by Wade Denton. And in steps Darian Montoya, the pitcher. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. He lined out in the second, was hit by a pitch in the 5th, and grounded out to Reese Bell in the 7th inning. Steps in here with the winning run at second base. The runner at first with 2 outs. The first pitch gets past Mozick. Back to the box, and now the winning run 90 feet away on the wild pitch by Denton.
With that strikeout, that's not a huge issue right now since you got 2 outs. So Wade just needs to focus and throw strikes. But you can't have another one of those.
2 wild pitches in the inning, and they've allowed the winning run to move up from first base all the way to third base now. As Galvan, the courtesy runner, down at third. The 1-0 pitch. Ground ball hit out to Bell. Bell will field it. He'll toss it to Denton, who covering first. And the third out of the inning is recorded. Here in the bottom of the 9th, 3-1 on the putout.
What a ball game.
Bell to Denton. And the Eagles get out of trouble here in the 9th. No runs on no hits, no errors. 2 runners left on base. We go to the top of the 10th, 2-2. More bonus baseball in a minute here on SHN.
I'll never forget the day I decided to go out for the football team. Mr. Banks, the JV football coach and my history teacher, asked me to stay after class. I thought I was in trouble. He said, "Hey, Darius, have you thought about going out for football? I think you'd be great." Fact is, I never played football. Fact is, I never had anyone tell me I'd be great at something. So, with no experience at all, I signed up. And a week later, I padded up and was running drills on the field. I never was great, but playing high school sports was one of the greatest experiences of my life. I was accepted by my teammates, and I learned that when someone believes in you, you can believe in yourself.
Encourage a student you know to take part in a high school sport. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Don't miss the UIL Baseball State Championship starting Wednesday, June 8th at UFCU Disch-Falk Field in Austin, Texas, and the Dell Diamond in Round Rock, Texas. Ticket information and more can be found at uiltexas.org. Sing it loud and proud, Georgetown fans. We go to the top of the 10th inning. All square, 2-2. Andon Petty will lead it off, the number 9 hitter in the lineup for your Georgetown Eagles. The 9, 1, and 2 hitters due up here in the 10th. They'll face off against Darion Montoya in to work his 3rd inning of relief. Andon Petty, the first pitch to him is low for a ball in the turf. 1-0 the count. Oh, I put that up where Zach is. The 1-0 pitch in there for a called strike. 1-1 the count. Great playoff baseball atmosphere here live at Northeast Stadium in San Antonio. The 1-1 pitch. Outside corner, called strike 2. 1-2 the count to Andon Petty. 0 for 2 in the ball game. Leading things off here in the 10th for the Eagles. Montoya from the windup as Petty steps back in from the right side. The 1-2 pitch. Fouled off, and Petty stays alive.
Stay alive.
He barely caught the end of that one. Montoya living here on the break-in pitches against Petty. Zachary Mozick, E.J. Davis also due up here in the top of the 10th for the Eagles. The 1-2 pitch from Montoya. Petty swinging a miss. Foul tip into the glove. 4 strike 3. And out number 1. First strikeout recorded by Montoya since coming in. And that'll bring up Zachary Mozick. He's 0 for 3 in the ball game. Was hit by a pitch in the 7th. Steps in here with 1 out, the top of the 10th. First pitch up and away, ball 1.
Catcher Zachary Mazok.
I think he learned now in the 9th or 10th inning to not be talking during the middle of the pitch. The PA announcer. The 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball in there for a called strike. 1-1 to count.
Both these relievers are really throwing well. Both the starters threw really well. Just a great pitching performance tonight by both teams.
The 1-1 count. This one's high and away. Ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike to Zachary Mazik. 1 out here in the top of the 10th.
Outfield playing at nothing over your head depth.
The 2-1 pitch. Mazik hits it down the third baseline. It's curling into foul territory and into no man's land. And that'll fall for a long strike. Tell you what, the shortstop, Jack Bell, gave a good pursuit.
He did. He's fast. A great shortstop, man.
2-2 count to Zachary Mazik, the catcher for the Eagles. This ball game was zooming through the 7th. Now into the 10th inning. Bonus baseball brought to you free here on SHM. Montoya from the windup. The 2-2 pitch. Mazik fouled it off. Stays alive. 2-2.
I won't sing again.
The comments come in. Our good buddies texting, stop the madness. Stop. 2-2. Mazik stays alive in the at-bat with 1 out. Base is empty. Montoya from the windup. The 2-2 pitch. Mazik, base hit down the left field line. It's going to curl all the way to the corner. Mazik around first. He'll be headed to second base, and he'll slide in with a 1-out double. Here in the top of the 10th, the senior catcher let the arrow fly, big boy. Here comes Zach Zavala, the courtesy runner. I just felt like you couldn't keep Zachary Mazik hitless in a ball game, and boy, he does what he does best here, going down that left field line.
As hot as he's been in the playoffs, you said earlier he was due, and he got hit by a pitch after you said that. This is what we were talking about. He's been so red hot in the playoffs at the plate, and that's a much-needed hit.
So now the go-ahead run for your Eagles in scoring position with 1 out here in the top of the 10th. E.J. Davis. He's 1 for 3 on the night with a triple, a run scored. He's walked once, grounded out twice, steps in here with a go-ahead run at second base. Now they're going to intentionally walk him. They want to create the force play. So that'll bring up Landon Heil, the right fielder.
Davis is intentionally walked. Now batting will be right fielder number 6.
Landon Heil. 0 for 4 in the ball game. Has an RBI from the 3rd inning. Davis led it off with a triple, and then Landon Heil put the ball into play to the right side of the infield. That allowed EJ to score from 3rd base, and that was an important run. That was the game-tying run back in the 3rd inning, and that's where we've been since the top of the 3rd. 2-2. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for your Eagles. 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 error for the Texans.
Last guy to see cross home plate in this game. Long time, a couple hours ago.
Runners on first and second with 1 out. Montoya from the stretch. A turn towards second.
Oh, man, he moved that front foot forward and then stepped over. They could have called a balk.
Zach Zavala, the courtesy runner for Mazik, down at second base. E.J. Davis at first. The first pitch to Heil. He'll take it for a called strike. 0-1. Here's the count with 1 out here in the top of the 10th. The Eagle crowd standing and cheering. The 0-1 count to Landon Heil. Montoya looked back at second. The 0-1 pitch. It gets away. Zach Zavala gets up to 3rd base. E.J. Davis up to second. The go-ahead run at 3rd base. 90 feet away with 1 out. 1-1 the count to Landon Heil. The wild pitch. The first by Montoya, the 3rd of the game for Texan pitching.
All right, just put something in play, Landon. Just put the bat on the ball.
Both runners advance on the fastball.
And you see the infield move in now. They're going to try to cut down a run at the plate if there's anything on the ground on the infield.
Last time we saw this occur, Reese Bell had a walk-off single to left field to score Zach Zavala. Landon Heil puts it into play. The left field base hit. Zach Zavala scores. Here comes E.J. Davis around third. He's going to score. The Eagles lead it 4-2.
Oh, baby.
Landon Heil with
Yes,
a 2 RBI single at the top of the 10th. And Kelly, that's where the sucked-in defense can backfire. Jack Bell unable to make a play, and a 2 RBI single for Landon Heil. The district DH of the year for your Eagles comes through here in the top of the 10th.
And Wally, you said it before, when you draw that infield in, the batting average goes up 100 points. And we saw it right there because with the quality shortstop that Bell is, I think on that hop, if he's playing at regular depth, he can make that throw home, but went over his head, and that's 2 big runs for the Eagles right there. Good night. That's going to increase Wade Denton's fastball right there.
Now Reese Bell will step in with 1 out and a 2-run lead for your Eagles here in the top of the 10th. What a job by Landon Heil he was doing tonight. And a 2 RBI single for Landon Heil. He's down at first base. Reese Bell, 1 for 3 on the night.
Reach has got some adrenaline, so he needs to hit a bomb.
First pitch in there for a called strike. Landon Heil, 3 RBIs on the night, none bigger than that 2 RBI single here in the top of the 10th. The 0-1 pitch to Bell, down in the turf. They'll throw back down behind Heil, but not in time. 1-1 to count now to Reese Bell. Nice play there by the catcher Everett to keep that one in front of him, as that one skipped in on the breaking pitch from Montoya. Bell back in from the right side. 1-1 to count. The 1-1 pitch. Bell puts it into play, but it's going to curl out of play. Bell not going to cheat himself on that swing. He took a big hack at it. Just missed it. 1-2 the count now to Reese Bell. Logan Smith, the third baseman, up next for your Eagles. 1 out here in the top of the 10th. 2 runs across, and the Eagles have taken a 2-run lead here in extra innings. Landon Heil down at first base. He's off running. The pitch outside, the throw down, not going to be in time. Oh, my goodness. We can't catch a call at second base.
Yeah, I think that was the right call.
Landon Heil caught stealing at second base. And of all things we talked about, being familiar with playing on a turf surface, and we have not had good slides at second base. So the second out on a caught stealing. Everett doing a great job behind the plate. 2-4 on the caught stealing for out number 2.
Boy, Reese is just pounding that right side.
Fouls it off. 2-2 stays the count to Reese Bell, and that's where his single went back in the 6th inning. Reese steps back in. Montoya back to the windup. The 2-2 pitch. Bell hits it out. Shortstop into the hole. He can't get it cleanly. He'll try to throw in time, but no.
Wheels.
Let's see if they call that an error or a hit. It was deep in the hole.
I think you got to call that a hit.
And they do give Reese Bell a hit. That's his second of the night.
As deep as Bell had to go to make that play, you got to call that a hit. Wheels just chugging down that line.
He got down the line. And now here steps Logan Smith with 2 outs. Reese Bell with 2 hits tonight. And made a couple of big plays down at first base as well. Senior first baseman. When he talked about resetting and it all started back with zeros, come tonight, he has been on fire doing his job as the big first baseman. First pitch, swing and a miss to Logan Smith. 0-1 to count. Logan 0 for 4 in the ball game. Montoya back to the stretch. Bell leads off first, being held on by Goss. Montoya comes set, the 0-1 pitch. Logan Smith, swing and a miss, strike 2. 0-2 the count with 2 outs.
Shaking off that breaker again.
The 0-2 pitch to Smith, swing and a miss, strike 3. 4 out, number 3. But not before the Eagles get 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors. And a runner left on base.
before we go to break, I want to give a shout out to our buddy Ricky Poe, owner of Georgetown Jewelry. Ricky's been with Austin Police Department as a chaplain, and Ricky is fighting cancer right now. He's in a struggle. Thoughts and prayers are with Ricky and his family, wonderful family, great people. Lots of folks in Georgetown know Ricky. So if you know Ricky and you're so inclined, offer up some prayers on his behalf. And Ricky, we love you, buddy.
Back with more Eagle baseball in just a moment. And we go to the bottom of the 10th. The Eagles have a 2-run lead, 3 outs away from winning game 1. They'll face off against the 8-9-1 hitters. The first pitch to Quezada. No, Frankie Alderetti, the designated hitter. Fouls it off for strike 1. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. He had a sac bunt in the 5th, ground out and a strikeout. The 0-1 pitch fouled off back to the screen. 0-2 the count. Wade Denton on for his 4th inning of work. 45 pitches through 3 innings, 7 strikeouts, 1 walk. An 0-2 count to Alderetti. The 0-2 pitch. Ground ball out to second. E.J. Davis will charge it. He'll throw to first in time for out number 1. 4-3 on the putout. And that will bring up the number 9 hitter, Luis Morales. Morales 0 for 3 in the ball game. A strikeout looking in the 2nd, a ground out in the 5th, and a strikeout swinging in the 8th. The Texans down to their final 2 outs here in the ball game in the bottom of the 10th inning. 4-2. The Eagles put up 2 in the top of the 10th. The first pitch in just a bit high. 1-0 count to Morales. Didn't come set. The 1-0 pitch. I agree. I'm not sure where that one was. A little high. 2-0 the count.
Georgetown Vampires did not like that call.
Look just under the letters of Morales. The 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss on the check swing. That pitch was worse than the other one, and he swung at that one.
Yeah.
So he got Morales to chase, which Denton could do it. The deceiving delivery from the shorter Wade Denton. And now a 2-1 count to Morales, but he'll step out now. Georgetown crowd continues to cheer on their feet. Denton comes set. The 2-1 pitch. Low for ball 3. 3-1 the count to the number 9 hitter, Luis Morales, for the Texans. The 3-1 pitch. Strike 2 called as Morales dropped his bat and started to head towards first base. Now a full count with 1 out to Morales.
I got to stand up.
Ryan Rodriguez, the number 1 hitter in the lineup, on deck for the Texans. The Denton comes set in the stretch. The payoff pitch. Strike 3. Swinging and a miss.
Nice job of Wade battling back. Got way behind the hitter and just started throwing those strikes. 1 to go.
8th strikeout by Denton in 3 2/3 innings of work. And now here steps in Ryan Rodriguez. He's 0 for 2 with 2 walks. He scored a run. Denton didn't like what he had, so he stepped off. The Texans down to their last out, 4-2. Bottom of the 10th, 2 outs, bases empty. The lefty, Rodriguez, steps in. The first pitch, fouled off. Back to the screen for strike 1. 0-1 the count to Ryan Rodriguez, the center fielder. The 0-1 pitch, up high and out. Ball 1. 1-1 to count to Rodriguez. The 1-1 pitch, fouled off back to the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ryan Rodriguez and the Texans down to their last strike here in game number 1. Denton comes set. The 1-2 pitch. Strike 3! Your Eagles are victorious. 4-2 in 10 innings over the Corpus Christi Ray Texans. What a ball game.
What a game.
Kelly's going to head down to the field, visit with Coach Vieira, and try to get a hold of Landon Heil. Winning RBI, 2 winning RBIs by Landon Heil. We'll send Kelly down to have the visit. But what a ball game. Game number 1 goes the way of the Eagles. Now the Texans don't want to shake hands.
And if necessary, game 3 at high noon on Saturday. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you coming out and supporting your teams this evening.
And so game 1 ends 4-2 in 10 innings. We'll take a timeout, come back with Coach Vieira and Landon Heil. You're listening to Eagle Baseball on SHN Sports. Back here live at Northeast Stadium, your Eagles victorious in 10 innings, 4-2 over the Corpus Christi Ray Texans. And what a ball game here, 2-2 from the 3rd inning on until the top of the 10th inning. The Eagles come back and put a couple of runs on the board thanks to Landon Heil. Zachary Mazik led it off with a double, and it all goes well from there. So we'll go down to Coach and Kelly down on the field.
While we're here with Coach Vieira, Coach, amazing ball game.
Yeah.
2 great teams playing really well, pitchers doing well. Talk about your Eagles' performance tonight.
Yeah, it's another gutsy win, right? You stare them down until somebody blinks, and our guys have a hard time blinking right now. So it's a big ball game. I mean, Nick Silva goes out, gets a little erratic in the 1st inning, and then he settles in and does a great job attacking the strike zone from there on. Played really good defense, and then we end up finally getting the big hit there at the end. We scratch 1 in the 2nd, another 1 in the 3rd, tie it up. Then you get all those zeros all the way through until you get all the way to the very end there, and then you get Landon Heil comes up in a big spot. We get the advantage of taking the ball in dirt read to advance to 2nd, 3rd, and then Landon Heil gets a big hit, and then of course you got Wade Denton who just attacks strike zone. He's a really good pitcher, and we're thankful he's on our side.
We talked about it. Wade is closer, top closer in the district,
Yeah.
but he can go more than 2 or 3 innings, and he did
sure.
tonight. Came in through great, kept the zeros on the board. combined two-hitter tonight. So amazing job by the pitching staff.
Yeah, our guys have done a really good job of just attacking the strike zone, trusting that their stuff is good enough to get outs, and that they can get the next guy out and go back to letting the defense play. So just very thankful that our guys keep trying to pick it up, throw it to first base.
In this setting, you get that first win in the best-of-3 series. That's just huge.
Yeah, I mean, it's no bigger than any other win. Obviously, we're trying to win too. When you get the first one, it allows you to kind of settle in a little bit to feel a little bit more comfortable going into game 2. We expect them to come back fighting again tomorrow. I mean, that's a good club in the other dugout, and we're not going to expect them to just roll over by any stretch. So it's going to be another dogfight tomorrow, and we're excited.
Max Preps has these two teams 1-2, and this is exactly what you'd expect from those two of the top clubs in 5A.
No doubt. Excited to get back at you tomorrow night.
Coach, congratulations. Great win.
Thanks, Kelly.
We'll see you tomorrow night.
Thanks.
Bringing in Landon Heil. Landon, great job, buddy.
You.
Drove in two winning runs tonight. Talk about that last at bat where you drove those runs in. What'd you see?
Well, I didn't expect EJ to get intentionally walked, but when they intentionally walked him, Coach V came up to me, gave me a few words of wisdom. It's like, you just won awards for DH, show them how it's done. So I get up there, they end up getting the second and third. He puts a little play on that we have where you just take a hack, and the runners are running no matter what, as long as it's on the ground. And I feel like the turf kind of owed us one early in the first inning. One went over first base. Yeah. So I got the swing that I wanted. Put it over the shortstop off a ground ball and scored 2 runs.
When the two guys move up a base on that pass ball, does that help you settle in a little bit?
Yes, sir, it does, especially when we put that play on where, you can take any hack. They trust you, both the runners and the coach. Everyone on the team knows that, what's coming as long as you put a swing on it. That helps out a lot if they moved up. You've
got runners on second and third, and I'm sitting up there going, man, just put one in play, try to get that run in. But right. And when they move to second and third, does it take some of the pressure off to get a base hit as opposed to just putting one in play and bringing in the run?
Yes, sir, it definitely does because it takes the force out of it. And that now you can definitely hit it to the opposite side of the field or somewhere in a gap, and it's easier for them to score. And I know it also took pressure off me. Reese Bell, Mr. Walkoff himself, was behind me. Yeah. And so if we did have 2 outs, I trusted him.
Well, Wally, we've got the district 24 5A top designated hitter Landon Heil drives in the game-winning runs tonight for the Eagles. We're playing again tomorrow night to move on, buddy. Congratulations, Landon. Great job, brother. We appreciate you. Wally, back to you.
A good visit there with Landon Heil, the game-winning RBIs. They'll give him credit for 1 RBI. I'll get both of them, but the game winner was that first one, and Zach Zavala comes on to run for Zach Mazik, and the speed pays off. The wild pitch, he gets over to third base, and there was no doubt any kind of ball Zavala was going to be moving and trying to get in to score. And then you have the speed of E.J. Davis behind him at second base. And so it's just a blast to watch. And what a ball game behind these Georgetown Eagles. They take game 1 of the series tomorrow night. Game 2 back here live at Northeast Stadium, 7 p.m. Hey, I'm telling you what, we've got to have more people out here. What a crowd tonight. Everyone pumped up and yelling. Get down here early. We're coming down early, meeting up at Eddie's, having some dinner before the game with a bunch of the families. Hey, come and join us. 7 o'clock first pitch. These Eagles can sweep the series and not have to worry about Saturday and let these boys enjoy graduation. But more importantly, we've got to win game 2. But these boys do a great job tonight and take game 1 4-2 over the Corpus Christi Ray Texans. Quick timeout. Be back here to wrap it up. You're listening to Georgetown Eagle Baseball on SHN. Back here live, getting ready to wrap things up as Kelly gets back up here to the booth. Kelly, I tell you what, gritty, they just don't give up. What can you continue to say about a team other than, man, this is fun to watch. It's fun to be a part of. At some point tonight, over 600 people watching live on, because this team is just an exciting baseball team doing great things.
Yeah, and the people that have watched this before probably sick of hearing us talk about grit, determination, but you can't talk about anything else. They hang in there. The pitching did exactly what we expect the pitching to do tonight. They hold a very good Corpus Christi Ray team to 2 hits. They get their runs in the first inning, zeros the rest of the game.
Wade Denton comes in, and throws 4 innings in relief, but more importantly, struck out 9 batters in those 4 innings. Only walked 1, a couple of wild pitches, hit 1 batter. But more importantly, when it came time to close it down in the 10th, Wade did it. Now, Wade comes in and steals another win out from under Nick Silva.
Yep.
But that's the way this works, and Nick will tell you, hey, when it was my turn to hand the ball over, there's no one better to hand it over to than Wade Denton.
Yeah, and they all rely on each other. You heard Landon say it. I knew I had Reese Bell behind me, so the pressure's off.
Yeah,
and
that wild pitch, pass ball, whatever they called it,
was big.
I marked it as a wild pitch because it hit before the plate, but that got Zach Zavala up to third, and it got EJ up to second base. That was huge. The pressure, kind of goes now. It transfers all to the Texans. You've got to keep runners off of home plate with less than 2 outs, and you have Landon Heil, 3, 4, and 5 hitters coming up, and you knew work was going to be done, and it got completed tonight. The Eagles are victorious in 10 innings, 4-2 over the Corpus Christi Ray Texans. We'll be back live tomorrow night for game number 2 of this series. The Eagles are victorious tomorrow. They move on to the regional finals. If the Texans come back and win game 2, we'll be back on Saturday for game 3. Join us tomorrow live here on SHN. If you can't make it out to the park, we're going to be here early. Join dinner with the families down at Eddie's just down the street on Thousand Oaks Drive. They were great hosts tonight. We were able to come in early and enjoy a meal with some of the families. We're going to do that again tomorrow. And so join us there if you want, about 4 o'clock, 4:30, and then come right down the street just 3 or 4 minutes away and watch a great baseball game between these 2 outstanding baseball teams, the Corpus Christi Ray Texans and your Georgetown Eagles. The Eagles victorious here in game 1, 4-2. We'll wrap it up tonight. See you tomorrow live, 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock first pitch on SHN. Remember, it doesn't cost you a dime to be kind. Have a good night, everyone.